What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now.
Okay.
And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Like, I don't understand why I have to only love one person or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard is supposedly is?
Right.
And then the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, this complicates things for us men because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told don't do this.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman. No matter what their social economical status was, white women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, I mean, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not going to walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm going to provide emotional protection so that you can, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, so there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, the men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband and stuff like that.
and what we say. Why? What up? Another episode, Speak on the Podcast. And oh yeah, Donna, I know this would have been a good podcast for you because I'll be seeing you on that book, on that media. Like, ain't no men out here. So yeah, this would have been a good show to you, but there'll be more. Trust and believe, similar topics. And what's happening? Speak on the Podcast 2K24. And we got a topic tonight that a lot of people was tagging on. I got a few guests that want to pop on here and elaborate and go a little bit deeper on the topic. They're going to tune in top of the hour. And, we're going to do what we do. Okay. And like I said, we got a lot of things coming up. So it's been a busy weekend, busy week. Shout out to my Strop City crew. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Joel and Vincent over there at the spot. They've been doing their thing. They got party after party. They just been like hot every week. So I was glad to see that Joel, which is part of the ME Boys, I trained him. It's good to see them with a crowd over there. And then Vincent, long time, Vincent Jackson. So they got the thing going. So if y'all ever in Strop City, you're looking for a grown folk regular turn up, the spot is right across the street from the old Exclusive. And y'all know we used to have what they call a time at Exclusive. This week was also, last week I think. Last week it was DJ Funk's birthday, and he was my club DJ partner in crime. Him and I broke records with the crowds we had at Exclusive, and then he turned me on to the Townhouse. Then he retired from the Townhouse, and I took over the Townhouse. Then I broke records. So yeah, it was DJ Funk, and like I say, free him until we see him. That is a real ass dude. You know what I'm saying? He was real. People wanted us to be at it, but we wouldn't. I actually helped train him also when he first started DJing at Jules. So we go back, but that's the talk that people don't know about. So he'll tell you though, when you see him, he'll say, yeah, Black used to come up to Jules and I would show him what songs to play after what songs and would help get his music up. And then he took over, and when he ran with it, he ran with it. So yeah, shout out to DJ Funk. Like I said, that was my dude. And that is my dude. I'm just waiting on him to get out. I have no word on when he's getting out. So if somebody know that, throw that. You feel me? All right. And let's see. What else been going on? Before I get to the topic. Let's see. Okay. They had a big party also this weekend. A nude party. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to them. I must say that the dresses and the fits, I really can't complain. They dressed the part. So shout out once again to Strop City, 50 Shades of Nude, and yeah, it did what it do. So Mario Payne threw the party. Mari Payne, he threw the party. When I tell you that brother brought the city out plus, He brought the city out plus. And I want to give a shout out to the grown Bashford people for going out there and actually representing peacefully. I didn't hear anything about any shooting or fighting. It was strictly for the grown folk. Now, that's at that event. However, I did hear about 2 shootings that happened that night. But whether anybody was hurt or any casualties, I haven't heard of that. But it was 2 shootings that night. But from what I understand, it had nothing to do with that party, nowhere near that party. One was at a club and one was somewhere else, gas station or something else. But shout out to the people in Strop City, keeping the party going. Boss is also, Val is also advertising the fair sometime in April. So y'all go out there and support. He's trying to keep the city rolling, man. It's tough. It's tough to keep that city rolling. But he trying to keep it going. So y'all go and check out the fair that's coming. I'm trying to find the date. I just know it's in April. Y'all know when it usually hit. But go check the fair out. They got it rolling. So many rides. Y'all just gotta, go check it out. Questions about it, look up John Val, the boss, on your social medias, and he got something to do with that. And let's see. What else is going on? Okay, now, like I said, I try to keep it rolling to the top of the hour. You know what I'm saying? Give people time to get on. But let me go to my YouTube. Hold on. Okay. All right. Now, pictures of Ashante started circulating. Started circulating the internet. And when I first saw these photos, because I'm a big fan, you know what I'm saying? I guess you should say fan, supporter, proud to see the progress she and Nelly are making, you know what I'm saying? It's like in a world where true love is kind of rare, it's kind of good to see, them together, you know what I'm saying? And doing their thing. So when these photos surfaced, I was more like, kind of, I don't know. I was shocked. I was like, I know this is not what she's doing, to our brother Nelly, you know what I'm saying? As if I know him, But I was like, I know this is not what she's doing. But come to find out, those were old pictures. But here they go. This is what I'm talking about. I saw. I was like, really, Ashante? Has it come to this? And I get it. I know every now and then, the ladies, the older ladies, when they 35 plus, they try to keep up with the 20-year-olds. So when I seen that, I say, she's trying to do the sexy raid, because we saw Queen B, what's her name? Lil Kim come out there and make a mockery of herself. So when I seen these pictures, I was like, God damn, I got a mouthful, you know what I'm saying, to say, how could she disrespect Nelly like that? You know what I'm saying? When they was looking like it was so promising, we're a baby, we're looking for a ring. You know, so I was like, okay. Then, you know, me, I got to research. Found out that was in 2019, September 10th, pre-COVID. And we wasn't talking about Ashanti then. Wasn't nobody even thinking about Ashanti then. So coming out there like that, making a mockery of herself, she needed to get talked about. And I think she needed to feel relevant again. So I think a lot of times these artists do certain things to grab attention when they're not relevant or being talked about. So I'm thinking this was a publicity stunt. And like I say, 2019, Nelly was with his girl and Ashanti was loose, you know. So I was just glad to see that was old footage. So anybody who's saying, "Oh, she's trying to keep up with the young ones, she need to act and dress her age and blah blah," that was old. Even though some of the, you know, it may be true, but that was in 2019. I was just so glad, shit, that wasn't this. And you see how people will take old information when you're doing good to try to throw dirt on your name, and that's all that was. So when I seen that, I was like, okay, let's see. All right. And so yeah, that was old. So we good. Patty Wack need to come on here and talk about, he speak his mind. Talk about these modern day women and why men ain't talking to them, take them out. But yeah, y'all, if y'all saw these photos of Ashanti floating around the internet, it was old, 2019 old. She was not with Nelly. So, you know, that was cool. Because I didn't want him to be another Russell Wilson that don't nobody want me talking about. Speaking of Russell, you know, Sean Payton got rid of him. So he's going to, what I understand, Pittsburgh, and they're trying to sell their home. You know what I'm saying? Him and Sierra trying to sell that home. And I heard the home been for sale for almost a year now. So it's like he kind of knew he wasn't going to be in Denver that long. So I don't know, but yeah, he I ain't gonna make this a football topic, but yeah, he been going through it, and Pittsburgh want to pick him up. Shout out to the coach, you know what I'm saying, Tomlin. He trying to, you know, keep the brother going, keep the brother active. And let me see, last week's topic created a lot of controversy last week. I mean, we had people, you know, they were getting mad and people were saying stuff, you know, it was going back and forth, you know, why they bashing, why they against each other. And like I tell them, it's not that I don't believe we're against each other per se. It's more or less the topic was about women owning houses. More women own houses more than men. And single women own more houses than single men was the topic. Okay. So the men was coming out, yeah, that's because they on welfare, that's because of divorce. That's because of you know, there's just the programs that's accessible to women, but the majority of the programs that's accessible to low income women are first time home buyer women are also available to first time home buyer men. And just like welfare, there are men on welfare. you know, there are men on Section 8. They were saying Section 8. There are men on Section 8. So, but to sum that up, because at the end of the podcast, normally we give our thoughts on it. But this particular night, we didn't. So, the bottom line is on women owning more homes. Single women own more homes than single men. Okay. And in the comments, they were saying, well, it take you 30 years to own, so they don't really own homes. So let's just say more single women qualify for home ownership than single men. And they are in the homes paying mortgage. More single women are paying mortgage than single men. And that's simply because women, it's in their nature to think of home ownership. It's in their nature to have them a safe place. And whether they get that safe place with a man, more likely these days they're getting it by themselves, solo. So it's not rocket science, because more women are educated, especially more black women are more educated than black men. A lot of men don't think of college when they get out of high school. They think of work, because that man wants money in his pocket. So when he do meet someone that he wants to wife or whatever, he has money to provide whatever the needs are. Men not thinking about home ownership, majority of them. They're like, hey, I'm going to get me a nice condo, a nice townhouse, you know what I'm saying, a luxury apartment. And they're going to move in that, and they're going to get them a nice vehicle, probably pimp it with lights and nice sound systems and stuff like that. Put some rims on it, have the lights up under it where it's glowing, and he's recognized and known in the city. That's what. And he goes home to his luxury apartment, luxury condo, luxury townhouse. That's what men are thinking about. But with women being nurturers by nature, especially if they have children, the first thing they want to do is get a house, and if something happened, they can pass it on to the child. That's a mother's mindset. If you're a single man, you just want something nice. You're probably gonna have nice furniture in it, king size decked out bed, probably from Ashley's or something, and you know, and it's gonna be nice. So that woman will look around and be like, yeah, this is nice. You're doing yourself good. That's it. That man ain't really worried about home ownership if he's not trying to give it to a family or his kids. So my take on the home ownership thing is women getting that education, keep getting that education. Women are getting these jobs, the single women, they're getting these jobs. They're putting their money up, especially the ones who don't have kids. And so they may say, well, hey, I don't have kids, but I want me a nice house. And that's what they're going after, and that's what they're getting. So I salute them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said on the post over on one of the posts where they were commenting a lot on, telling why. And it was kind of like a slander. They get them through divorce, Section 8, you know, vouchers and this and that and that. Well, they have home programs, like I say, for men too. And out of that number, and then I'm gonna go to the topic of the night. Out of that number of the women that's owning more of these homes, that's after the ones who own the most homes are the couples, the married people, the families. They own the most homes. Then comes the single woman. And like I say, that comes from being widowed, but it started out as a unit, man and woman. Widowed, he gets incarcerated, divorce, woman owns the home. So it's not rocket science. So if you guys want to change that, stop sitting on the couch, living with the woman that's on welfare, playing video games, and get your little education, get you a job, work toward home ownership. However, I'm sure there are more men that own homes for flipping and renting, than women, and that's a Google that I'm pretty sure the men are buying homes not for them to live in, but to put families in, and they're getting rent from them, so for profit. So if you look that up, you will see that. But salute to the ladies. Go out there, get your education, get your homes. So get you a mortgage and try to pay off your nice vehicle. You get what I'm saying? So my shouts out to them. We might have quite a few guests on here tonight. I want to see mainly what my women think about this, because you guys are the ones that control it. And what Patty Wax say? They too internet, instead of bringing themselves for you trending, set minds on what to be and do. Yeah, this is a trending social media society that we live in. So I have to agree with him. And we're gonna get deep, because it was a couple of questions that I saw, well, a couple of comments that I saw on the pages that I want to elaborate on also. And let's see. Topic of the night. Y'all share the live. I want to know what's going on. I really want to know. Let's see. Let me take that comment down. Okay. I really want to know what's going on, me personally. I want to know what's going on. And to get it rolling, let's see, Wanda. When we talk about single, beautiful women, well, I want to know, and so many people ask this question, and it comes up a lot, barbershop talk, and when brothers just together, and we sitting in the cars or watching television or on social media, and we see these women, and they're always single and getting what we consider dogged out, and nobody wants to wife them. They're sad, miserable, acting. So we just want to know what's going on. Why is that? Why is that? Why are the most beautiful ones the most single ones? Why is that? And then a lot of them take the cop out. Oh, I'm single by, they want to be single by choice. But then when you look at their social media posts, they want somebody to rub their booty. They wish they had somebody to take them on a date. But yet you single by choice. So I don't get it. So I want some women to chime in. Share the live. Let's get the women to chime in. I want to know, why are the most beautiful women, you post pictures 24/7, why are you so single? And then one person say, okay, are they single, or are they just single? Welcome to the panel, Wanda.
Hello. You got
What's
me
that?
cracking up over here.
Man, I want to know. I mean, single, that's all you see. But when it's cold outside, Valentine's Day, all the holidays, then sometimes when they leave a party, like they just had the nude party, when they leave the party, they go home, and then at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning, you see a text, they wish they had somebody, you know. So, but if you so happily single, I guess it has its moments. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not a woman. I'm not single. I'm not in that. I guess you guys go through that moment where you're glad you're alone, but then I guess when your friends get off the phone and they say, or your family get off the phone, they say, okay, girl, Michael, let me go fix Michael some food. He tripping. Or girl, Michael, shit, I'm thinking go and lay up with Michael. Then you get a little lonely, like, damn, I wish I had a Michael to lay up with. I don't know. But it's like, single. Why are the most beautiful women, the ones that society deems beautiful, why are they so single? What's the deal? Is it no options out there?
Can I talk now? Can I talk now? Or should I just hold my peace?
I want to know. So you can start leak it out slowly. So when the panel fill up, you can really. But start off with why are you guys single?
It's like you said, by choice, and by choice it just all depends on. I'll speak for myself. I am single by choice. I think
bad experience in relationships.
I'm working on me, and what I'm looking for hasn't come along yet.
Okay, what you're looking for hasn't come along.
Not found me, right?
Okay.
Single by choice.
Okay. So, ma'am, single by choice. I'm gonna ask you.
Grab your pillow and your blanket.
Is it single, or do you have a roster? We get juicy on here. Is it single? Do you have? Well, let me call John tonight. Let me call Brian.
I can't speak for anyone but myself. I am single. Do I have guys that are interested? Of course.
Not interested. Do you have guys that you are intimate?
No, sir. Not at all. But
wow.
So to every woman their own. And you said something. Well, you said a lot of things, but what you said, why are the most beautiful women? Well, my problem with that statement is, who defines beauty?
Well, when I said that,
every woman is beautiful.
Right. In a word, that's why it said, I also said that society deems beautiful. And what society says is beautiful, what they show us that's supposed to be beautiful. And then that the women are getting the lashes. They're getting the lace fronts, trying to get as close looking to these society deemed women. You know, like growing up, okay, beautiful was defined as, I mean, of course, on a milder scale, just like we say, you love everybody, but you know, goddamn well, you don't love everybody. But that's a nice thing to say. Everybody's beautiful is what we say. But you know, goddamn well, there's some ugly waka flockers on this earth, a lot of them. But we are trained to say that. But what society deems beautiful, back in the day, what was beautiful was vanity. She was what society deemed as beautiful. Then came Apollonia. Society deemed beautiful. Then Lisa. She fell in that deemed beautiful category. So when I say beautiful, society deemed beautiful. Now we know you see the girl across the street raggedy as hell, but she's beautiful. You know, she don't look like that. You know what I'm saying? But we say everybody's beautiful. I guess I should say physically, because women strive to keep their face nice.
Well,
Women strive, a
I,
lot of them strive to keep their bodies nice.
I understand what you're saying,
Okay.
but society, that's a key word. You said what society. I think when it comes to women, beauty is whatever that woman describes her beauty as to be. And not every man is looking for who society deems as beautiful. I mean, and women, I would take the statement when you said the most beautiful women. Any woman that is single chooses to be single by choice. There's a time when you want to be out there dating. There's a time when you should work on yourself, and then there's a time that you want that special someone.
I mean, I feel you on that, but I beg to differ also, because there are several saying they can't find a good man. It's several saying, like you stated earlier, they're waiting for their man to come. So if they're waiting for the right one to come, that means they wouldn't mind being in a relationship.
And you may have, and you are correct. You're correct, but that's all about being disciplined enough to wait for that time. Of course, everyone's human and we have feelings and all of those things, but it's how you handle those feelings. You have to recognize where you are, and you have to wait for what you're looking for. And when I say wait, I don't mean sitting at home and waiting. I meant you have to work on you and build yours while
Right.
that's happening. You can't focus so much on how lonely you are or all of those things. Those things can, for me, those things are not to the forefront.
Well, I think I'm gonna go off of you and from what I see on social media. And a lot of times when you judge people by social media, you're wrong. But from what I'm seeing, you're a busy woman.
Correct.
You treat yourself a lot.
I
So
do.
you barely have time to be lonely. So that's why it doesn't matter. Just like a partner of mine, a guy that's actually live in Dallas, he never had love. He never experienced the butterflies. He never experienced a woman saying, I miss you, and laying up under him and I long for you. He never had that. So he's single. And it's kind of like you don't miss what you never had, kind of. And when you're busy, because I was at one point busy like you, super busy like you, treated myself a lot, all kind of trips, anywhere I wanted to go, I went. And a woman, especially coming out off of a long-term relationship, a woman was the last thing that I was like, I'll never even invite a woman to even live with me again after that. And I was doing what you doing. I was treating myself, buying what I want. I'm free, no headache. And so that's what you're doing. So you're occupied. So you're not gonna miss anything because you're occupied. And so
my advice would be, if you are a single woman, occupy yourself with something productive.
But so many of them are looking for, and they I talk to them, they inbox, they are looking for a good man. And they're saying, and we had a topic like, why are all the women, I think we said 35 plus single. And a lot of them were saying that the men to choose from are not leaders. Okay, so the 35 and 40s plus, 35 plus, some of the 30s, but 35 plus for sure, are looking for, they kind of traditional a little bit, where they're looking for a man who's going to lead. And it's not a lot of those out there today, because with women working, with women being more educated, with women getting the homes, they're kind of spoiling these guys. If they got the home, the guys are moving in with them, And instead of moving in with
What they
them,
do that at?
hey, you did, but you know several of your
what they do
friends,
that
family that
at?
did, and I do too.
If he move
But
into if he
they
move
letting
into
the
my
guys
home, it's
move in
only
with them, and the guys
because
are moving in with them without a plan. And I used to talk to the guys. I'll say it's no reason why a guy should be living on the street. You know what I'm saying? All these single women out here, man, they got homes, you know. But when you come in there, have a plan to get them out of that welfare system. You know what I'm saying? Get them off of that. But they get there, they get complacent, they get comfortable. They're playing the video games. The woman's working at the chicken factory. Coming home, you know, to his Jordans and his PS5 now. So it's like they're the men of today, a lot of the men of today. And I'm gonna say, when I say today, I'm saying I guess 30 to 35, maybe. And they don't have a plan. Whereas when we were growing up, we watched dad or whoever was the father figure of the home go out there and work his ass off. Come home, dirty shirt, jeans, them steel toe boots, you know what I'm saying, working at the mill or whatever, doing
that
16, 18 hours. We
there's
seen
still
that.
men like that. There, you know, there's everybody for everybody. The guy that's at home playing the video game, it's somebody that'll be great for. The older guy who wants to bring there. I just think there's somebody for everybody, and if you stay in your lane, you will be okay. But I'm being silly, not laughing. But basically, I believe that there's someone for everyone. And I think that this subject is so broad. It's so broad. It just depends on where each individual is in their life. Huh?
Where everybody fall, whoever, it's a topic where you can just fit in whatever lane.
It's very broad. Everybody just needs to know where they are in life, and that way, you know, they can deal with people that can complement their life and add to their life. You said some women are looking for men to lead. That is correct. All of the things you said are correct. The key word is some. Everybody's looking for something different, what's right to them.
Right.
I'm not looking for, and I'm only speaking for myself, I'm not looking for a man to lead me, so to speak, because of course, yes, I can lead myself. However, I am looking for a leader. And that's not because I need to be led. That's because I need the same strengths and drives, and I need somebody that's going where I'm going, and I can help him lead.
Okay. Now that makes sense. Because a lot of times when you independent women like yourself, that's been independent forever in 3 days, that don't need a man for nothing, it's hard for, I guess, a traditional minded man to, you know, come in your world and actually be comfortable in your world. Because especially if he's on the traditional side, he's used to leading. He's used to voicing, you know, the opinion. He's used to, you go with what he says, per se. You know, y'all come together, and you know, so when you independent, strong, as long as you have been, it's gonna be hard for.
I disagree. I 100% disagree. This is something I think that men don't understand. I am very strong. I am very strong-willed, and I am single by choice. I am waiting for what I feel is right for me in my life. However, that doesn't mean I'm not paying attention. That doesn't mean I'm not looking. And the type of man that you describe, which is a leader and lead and all those things, that's what I'm looking for. But however, he's not, no, it's not going to be difficult because I know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
And when he comes along, he wouldn't have a problem feeling as if, oh my God, I can't lead her. I'm going to know how to adjust.
Okay. So you know when to turn off the masculinity. When to be soft.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
Okay.
That's what I said. You said it was gonna be difficult. Oh no, it's not. It's real easy if it's the right one.
And how do you know how to do that? Was it how you was raised, or what you learned from watching other relationships, or did you learn that from home, from mom, from grandma?
This may shock you, but I can only speak for myself.
Right.
It's instinct. When the right one comes along, I don't have to force myself to so-called submit. It'll come naturally because I'll feel safe.
Okay.
I agree with that. I missed a lot of what y'all said, but I definitely agree with that because you don't even have to think twice about it. When it's the right person and you feel safe to be your true authentic self, you know, be feminine and soft, it just turns on. When you're around someone who you don't feel has your best interest at heart, can protect you, you know, that you can trust, you have a guard up, you have a wall up. But when it's someone that I always say we fit together, when we fit together, it's just natural. I wish I could explain it better. And sometimes I wish I could feel that way about certain people.
Right. Like, it's an instinct. It comes natural when it's the right one.
And see,
but when it's the wrong one, for me, if I have to lead you, if I am getting to know someone, I'm dating someone, and I have to lead them, then I'm gonna exit that situation. Because if I have to lead, I will lead.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lead in a relationship.
What you guys, and like I say, this podcast, I learned so much. It's more of a therapy session because I don't talk to a lot of people. To myself, I solve my own problems. And when I hear you guys saying what you're saying, I go off of what I see every now and then on the TikToks, videos, and to hear you guys saying it's automatic. You get what I'm saying? They don't say that on the TikTok videos. They just say women are too masculine. They'll never, they don't want a man to lead, you know? And so I see that and I'd be like, okay, I'm glad I'm not in that cesspool that has to choose these women. But to hear you guys say that it comes natural, that you will know automatically when to turn it on and when to turn it off, when to be soft, when to let him lead, when to turn it back on. They don't talk about that on social media.
Right. And even in doing that, no one's perfect. Like I said, you have to adjust. And we are talking about there's a certain type of woman, you're saying strong, independent. Whereas there are some women that they want to be led. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're weak. They're just different types. Like I said, This is a very broad subject. There are some women that's what they need. They need a man that will lead them, but that doesn't mean that they're not strong. That's what they choose to do.
Okay. Now, your independence, your strength, did it come from, and I've been knowing you for a minute, and you've been working since junior high, high school. You got out there and got it. Was it because you saw mom struggle? What made you just come out and just be this independent? You were more like a man per se, not a knock, but we viewed you as the reason you didn't get approached a lot. You was always working.
School?
You was working.
Yeah,
you were like, I think you were working in high school, right?
Yes.
Okay. You were always working. So when we saw you, we was like, she a good homeboy because you were doing things men were supposed to do. And we were like, you was out there getting it. And so I didn't know where that drive actually came from. Was it from watching mom struggle? Was it from listening to dad? Or what made you just say, I'm going to get out here and get it? Because you didn't have time to do nothing. You didn't go to no parties. You didn't do nothing. But
well, this is true. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. It's just who I am, period. And that has very little to do with me. If you know me, I'm a firm believer in God, and it's just who I am. I didn't have it. It's like I don't have a choice. This is what it is.
I actually was about to say the same thing. A lot of times we don't choose to be this way. It comes out of necessity. So in my case, I've owned my own business, all that stuff, build up my own life. And you would say that I am strong and independent and all these things, but I don't want to be. I have to take care of myself.
Okay, let me ask you this then, Carmen. Mm-hmm. The choice of men that actually approach you, because guys have their comfort zone per se.
Yeah.
Okay, and the guys maybe you went to school with that's maybe 3 to 5 years older, 3 to 5 years younger. When they approach you, being that you're independent and successful, how do you adjust? Like when they say, "Hey, what's up?" What's up with you? And you know that this guy is pole hustling. He probably he's selling dope for somebody else, and he got his Jordans on. He got the grill. Those are the type. And
please
that,
ask me that same question.
that he's not working per se. He don't have a legitimate 9 to 5. He's hustling, and they approach you being that your mindset is independent. I'm going to get this by any means necessary. You got a business. You educated. Then you see this guy probably drop out of school in 9th grade, maybe 10th grade, and they approach you. Do you accept them in and try to put them on to business, or are you more looking for somebody who's kind of on the same trail and mindset that you're on?
The first thing I would say is that I actually am not getting approached very often. So I think that's a big misconception about beautiful people that we approach all the time. So because guys think that I have a lot of guys approaching me all the time, I actually am not getting approached very often. Secondly, if someone like you described were to approach me, I don't really think that they would. I think guys kind of scope you out and like gauge if they can even afford to date.
So you're around mature guys then, because guys usually pop them pills, they get on them drugs, they get on that alcohol, and they say, "Hey, what's up, shout?" Unless you don't hang in that circle.
Yeah, anybody.
If they say, "What's up, shawty?" I'm gonna say, "What's up?"
Yeah, I'm actually not meeting guys like that. They may say something like, give you a compliment or something like that, but someone actually approaching me to date, I usually don't meet guys like that. I usually meet other entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Not to say that cancels out all the extra rigmarole, but what you described, I know people like that, and I went to school with people like that, but they don't approach me.
Okay. Because they kind of know that you're about your business. You stand on that business. And so I ain't even gonna waste my time, because that girl got an education, she got a business, and I ain't even gonna step to her. "Hey, how you doing, friend?" They call you friend.
There was one guy that I met that actually, he wasn't exactly what you said, but he was like recently out of jail, in the sales department is what I say. In the sales department, flashy. And he was actually really sweet and all this. I didn't have a problem with him, but it was again like things I like to do just on a normal basis to him were expensive things. So he just said he couldn't keep up with my lifestyle, which I thought
high maintenance. So you got the business, the education, you high maintenance now.
Yeah, so this particular day,
Well,
he said he was getting me.
I'm not. I don't consider. I don't consider.
Hey, I'm finna drill you also.
Oh yeah,
Wanda,
because I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna drill
Please.
you too, Wanda. I'm just listening. And I like Carmen. I like her honesty, and her face is so straight. So everything she's saying is the truth. She is, and we had a discussion on this too. Baby, stick to your standards. Do not lower your standards. Stick to your standards, and who's for you is for you. So when you said I made it, yes, I am, and I like that. I like that. Now, Wanda.
Yes, sir.
Your profession, the 26, the 35 that had already ran through the 20s-year-olds, he sees somebody like you. You know, we all, majority of guys, we all go through that spike where we want an older woman. Okay. So that 25, 30-year-old see you, man, and he like, you look like you, 28, you know, and you know he ain't hitting lick at a snake. You see, you probably see him drop his girlfriend off, his live-in girlfriend off, and he keeps the car and go to her crib and play PlayStation until it's time to pick her up for work. And then you just happen to be in that facility. He approaches you, compliments, ain't hitting on, and your instincts, you can pretty much tell 80% whether a man full of shit or not. You get what I'm saying? And that's
Now,
just a radar.
That part is true, and
You know,
and being
so
full
how
of it
do
doesn't
you
come with the age.
How do you? Okay, let's just say he fits the features. He looks the part, but you know he's not going to be independent. You know you'll probably end up doing more for him than he's doing for you. He won't accompany your success. He won't take you to another level. You'll be more helping him. Do you engage in relationships like that, or do you give him a chance, go out once or twice, and then when you see it ain't what it do, cut him off? Or do you just instantly be like, we not the same?
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't know anything. Even if someone presented themselves in whatever you said, that style, I don't know, because I don't know the individual, and I'm only speaking for myself. I don't judge based on what I see. I would actually be open to get to know the person, but at the same time, I know what I'm looking for, and I know where I'm going, and I know what I need to help me get where I'm going. And that doesn't necessarily mean somebody in a suit and a tie. It's not a particular look or age or that I'm looking for, and I don't judge based on what people look like, because I don't want anyone to judge me. So I probably would go out on a date if there's other things that would have to factor in too. But yes, I know when a man is full of crap, and that doesn't have to do with the age. That doesn't have to do with what he's wearing. They full of crap in suits and ties, just like they full of craps and
Right.
pants hanging off. That's not a look. That's not an age. That's all ages.
So now I'm gonna ask both of you all, and okay, because I'm sure you guys be minding your own business at grocery stores every blue moon, even though the average man not just gonna walk over to neither one of you and just say, hey, how you doing? I want to get to know you. But when one of them do finally get the nerve to say something, and he's totally, from his approach and appearance, not what you're looking for, do you guys let him down like instantly at the store, like I'm busy, and try to act like you're busy? Or do you engage in conversation, or do you just simply ignore? Because my wife, she ignores. She says ignoring is better than saying I got a man or I'm married. So do you guys ignore when you know that that's not what you want to get, when you know it's not what you want to get in? Not judging a book by its cover. You just either know something about this guy or then seeing him in action, and you like, I know you're not for me. So how do you guys turn guys down? How do you do it?
I choose to politely decline. My mom is big on ignoring, and she tells me to ignore them. But I feel like somebody's coming up to me, speaking to me. The least I can do is acknowledge them. I might say, no, thank you. I don't really have to go into making up something. Just, oh, well, no, thank you. I'm not interested. And
yeah, it depends. Well, it kind of depends. Like right now, I'm single, so I don't have anyone, and I'm going to thank them for their compliment. And if it's someone, like you said, if it's someone that I know and I've heard, and I just know to be running game, again, I'm gonna thank them, and that's pretty much gonna be it. But that's someone that I know, I've heard, I have facts about, but I wouldn't do that just based on someone's appearance. Like, I'm not going to just look at a guy and say, oh, no, I have to know some things. But yeah, I'm going to be polite and thank them for their compliment, but I may not give them my number.
Let's just say if you're in a relationship, how would you handle that?
If I am in a relationship, I am still going to thank them for their compliment, and they would not get my number. It would not go any further. If the man that I am with is insecure, then that's the issue. Because yes, I get, a lot of guys come at me all the time, all ages, all styles, all walks of life. But I am confident as a woman to know how to take a compliment and move forward.
Right. And like a guy used to say to me, a smile is just a smile. An old man told me that, because growing up, we used to think that every woman that, what we say, skin and grin, they was interested. And he was saying sometimes a smile is just a smile. And we had to learn that. But like Lotus just said, especially today, because I see it all over social media. I even know some homeboys that used to do this, and I used to correct them. Some men don't like rejection.
Nobody likes rejection.
And some men, and I'm sure Wanda, you've seen it, and I'm sure Carmen, that they'll say, if you say you're not interested in them or something, fuck you, baby. Fuck you,
Yeah.
And you see it, it's all over. You know what I'm saying? So when it's out there, you guys have it so hard, man, and it didn't used to be like this. And Carmen it's hard. It's hard because the guys of today that you guys have to deal with, there's 9 times out of 10 that's going to be approaching you. They're not the guys that came from those homes where the men taught chivalry. The men taught respect women, because they're growing up in this social media age where we're seeing women disrespect themselves every day. So that's why the quotes start coming out. Women want men to respect them, give us something to respect. That shit wasn't heard of in the 90s. It wasn't heard of because women were more respectful and they covered up more. It was some out there getting loose, but you had to be in that circle to catch that looseness. It just wasn't, we walk outside and we see a woman out there with her titties and her booty cheeks out. We didn't see it.
I think it's on both ends, honestly. I always say that if we as women collectively could agree to raise our standards and stick to them. I know right now everybody's talking about standing on business.
You can't show your teeth to every guy you meet.
But if we could just all decide to accept this and above, then men would have no choice but to get their act together. But as long as people are accepting Netflix and chill and all these other just random things, then it makes it seem like this person is asking for too much, and let me go back over here. So,
you are a rare species. You rare, just like my wife. She grew up watching the grandma and teaching her, that early pregnancy is not the way to go. Fall in love with every man that say how you doing. And Carmen seems like either your mother, grandmother, or somebody taught you different. You're not on social media with your butt cheeks out, with your the story, bending over in front of the camera, shaking your ass. And I can go to my page right now, and as I flip, you're gonna see at least 3 to 5, however many. I think it showed like 4 to 5 videos. Every third video is showing a girl bending over, a woman bending over, shaking her ass. So
sometimes, I think of it like this. Which I do wear swimsuits and all sorts of things like that, but I have to think about it like I'm advertising. If I'm booked over on my story, well, I can only expect to get hit up by people who only want to screw. So
look. And the same thing Carmen is saying, Wanda, because you never done that either. But that was what
I have been accused of being too sexy in what I wear, or what, some of my posts, my pictures. Like right before I did this broadcast, I did a video about country girl, and I have on some jeans and a shirt. I just like, my whole take on the whole thing is everybody is different. I mean, just find the person that's where you are. That girl that's bending over and shaking her butt. That some men want that, and they don't consider that to be disrespectful. They consider that to be, a good thing. Everybody's different.
Lot of guys don't wonder.
Different.
A lot of guys accepts that because they know that that's the type of woman, like you say, that they're going after. But once they're in that relationship, and this from a guy's perspective, once they're in that relationship, they don't want that woman doing it. The same thing that attracted me, okay, because I know what I see that got me attracted, right? So if I'm there, I'm not, you got me here. Once I'm here, I'm gonna be like, hey, you only do that no more on social media.
Well, that's definitely going, for me, that would definitely be a problem.
She just said a second ago that the guys need to just find someone who's on what they're on and be with them. And I think that's a big problem too. A lot of times people want someone who does X, Y, and Z. But the person they end up is on A, B, and C. And now you're trying to force me to do X, Y, and Z when I never said I did it in the first place.
Hey, Wanda.
No, I was reading a comment from said we must set our standards and do not compromise them just to have a person in your life. I 100% agree with that.
I agree.
Because it's like men, we look at, a lot of us look at the videos, especially the younger ones who didn't have that father figure. And, it's a lot of them that don't have father figures in their lives. And we want to go along with what society standards, okay? So if it's going to the strip club with your woman, and y'all tipping the stripper, because that's what Kevin Gates and them do, that's the end thing right now. But just like I know quite a few people that try to get into that threesome stuff, that polygamy, and it backfired. I know this married couple that let another female in their bedroom, and the woman ended up liking the female more than she liked the damn husband, and they supposed to meet up and talk to each other whenever the threesome's supposed to go down, but the wife started sneaking with the woman behind the man's back, and vice versa. So it's like, you got to be careful today because society is throwing so much to break up the black male, black woman coming together, uniting, building a family, prospering. So it's like you got plenty of people on here, and I said at the intro, you have the guys going to jail, you have guys that's gay, you have the bisexuals, you have black on black crime, so we're killing each other daily. The black male is hard to find. The black male, good black male, is gonna be kind of hard to find because it's very rare. So when I see that man with 2 or 3 women on his arm, I understand, because there aren't good men. When women are settling now to be side women and it's a praise, it's a good thing, go home to your wife. I'm through with you. Go home to your wife. When I see that now, not saying that it's supposedly right by society or Western civilization standards, I guess we should say, but women are actually settling. And I was on the phone with someone earlier today, and they were saying that how women are lowering their standards to be with a man who has a wife and 3 or 4 baby mamas. But I understand a good black man is hard to find. A straight black man is hard to find. A black man that's a leader these days are hard to find.
I disagree with all those last few statements. I actually saw something that said, like, the last census they did shows that more black people are married right now than before. More children are being raised in 2-parent households, black 2-parent households. And although we may see a lot of the negative going on, I just don't feel that the positive, I don't think they're out shouting about it, is what's the thing. So I know a lot of people with healthy relationships, and they've built families, built businesses, built all sorts of things, but I don't think they are
glorified.
Yeah, like the people with toxic things, they're loud and proud about it, and you hear about it, you see them going back and forth. But I think the happy couples aren't just shouting it out as loudly. So I don't know. To me, it's kind of like the lack and abundance thinking as well. If I tell myself that a good man is hard to find, there's no this, there's no that, well, then I'll continue to not meet people like that. So I always try to speak against that and just further my range. Maybe my group that I initially started off with, maybe they were like this.
You have to get outside your circle.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell a lot of guys who saying, like, this guy called Show the Hardest. He's like a cousin of mine, and he's looking for a good woman. He's not a bad looking guy, but his mind is cloudy from what he sees on social media. And he's like, man, ain't no women out here. They ain't this, they ain't that. And I want to actually make a special trip to go to his hometown, pick him up, hang out for a whole weekend or something, to show him that all women are not these Instagram people that you're seeing that's showing the skin that's bending over. Now, when you say the women are out there, that the families are more coming together, I'm gonna have to kind of see that, because I watch the post that I put, and then I go back and I look at what people say. Now, this guy here, and I wish Austin would come back on here, but he said, well, hold on. Okay. He said, marriage is no longer desirable for several men and women. Marriage was once a vehicle to get to the next level. Now many individuals are financially independent and choose to remain single.
I kind of...
Yeah, so when I seen that, because I wanted to talk about that, because what I want to know...
True statement for some people. For some people. That's and that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. If that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to do.
But my thing is this, though, with that, and I was like, this could be a whole nother podcast. Do people marry for love anymore? Is love even a factor when it comes to choosing a mate?
I think that's more of a question of the old ways. All these things, people want to go back to the grandparents' way and all this. They weren't marrying for love. They weren't marrying because they clicked and hit it off. They were marrying. A woman couldn't own a home. She couldn't have a car. She couldn't have so many things without being married. Now a woman has an option to do these things. Before, so many women were in abusive relationships, forced to have children, back, so many things that people are leaving out when they say, why is it not like it was in our grandparents' day? Our grandmother probably could not leave. So now you're no longer stuck in a situation.
Exactly, which why I say more. Do people just marry for love?
And I
anymore?
have to
because
answer your
if
question.
You're independent and you can live on your own, I'm independent, I can live on my own. Why don't we just come together and we just go straight up? You know what I'm saying? Instead of me being by myself because I'm able to take care of myself, you by yourself because you're able to take care of yourself. If we marry for love, that means you don't need me per se for anything. I don't need you per se for anything. We're together because we want to be together. It's not, and his statement is more like they coming together to get to the next level. It's like a business, you know, and so many people on social media today, people marry, it's a business. I'm not in this because I love you. This is a business. Coming together, we're able to drive this Ferrari. We're able to live in this 8,000 square foot home. We're able to get the things that we want. So that's why they say it's a business.
Well, my answer to your question is yes to all of the above. People marry for love. People marry for business. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. That doesn't make it right or wrong. The thing that, to me, that makes it right or wrong is if you're not happy and at peace with what you are doing. But yes, people marry and it's a business arrangement. But let me add this. Just because you have two people that are building and successful does not mean that love is not there, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right. I think also, hey ladies,
hey.
I think that also, like you said, we keep trying to look at everything through one lens. And I think that's part of the issue here. And I say that all the time, that, you know, we can't look at it through just one way of doing things, right? Carmen, just like you were saying, I say that all the when I first got on this show, I started saying, hey, you talk about old traditions and why grandma, and well, you like you said, we were stuck in situations, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I admire my grandmother and how she ran our household, but I'm not sure if she was always happy. You know, Papa could do what he wanted to.
Right.
She couldn't drive, she had no job, like, you know,
and that's why I say,
like, he could have had a whole family out there on the side and she could have been miserable, but she could not leave, right? But now we're in the workforce. We're able to do these things. We have choices, right? And back then too, when you got pregnant, you got married, right? So some of these people wasn't getting married for love. They was getting married because you done got this girl pregnant. You better marry her, right?
Yeah, you said that on a previous podcast.
Stay together after, because divorce wasn't a thing, you know. If you was in the church, you know, fire and brimstone if you got divorced, right? And stuff, which still plays into people's life. And I remember even for myself, it played into how long I stayed in my marriage, and I should have been left, but fire and brimstone, you don't get divorced. Like, you don't do that. Well, okay, I may have chosen wrong. You know what I'm saying? And all that. And so we have to remember that, you know, like you said, different strokes for different folks, right?
Yes,
I might like monogamy. This person might like polygamy, like, you know, and sometimes you dip into something that don't work for you. Okay, get back out of it, try again, right? And but you don't know unless you explore the thing. That don't make it right. That don't make it wrong. You know, stick your big toe in, see if you dig it. If you don't dig it, it's okay for you to step out, but that don't mean condemn the whole thing for everybody, right? You know, and Black knows, when I first got on here, I was like, oh no, marriage ain't for me. That's all right. No, don't worry about that. You know, and because of my experiences, right? And all that. But slowly being with my mate, I've been like, I consider it. but I still can't say I want to live with nobody. You know,
because you've been independent.
I love my independence. I like having something to myself. So if I did marry somebody, there's gonna be some special arrangements that's not gonna be traditional. You know, we're gonna have your room, my room, and our room. You know,
and if
so
that works. And
our room. Did you say our room? I never heard that.
Yeah, a lot of people actually do that. I found out.
Yes. And those marriages last a while. They stay together because they're not infringing upon each other's privacy.
Yeah, and I've said this on this podcast too.
You know?
I don't mind paying for my peace. Like having I couldn't go back to a 900 to 1,200 square foot home where you sitting watching TV, the kitchen right there, the people walk in front of you going, I can't go to that. Because the wife and I, we are good because I don't see her.
Right,
she don't see me. The space. She's downstairs. I'm up here. She's in the room. I'm elsewhere. We don't see each other. And I bet if we were still in that 3-bedroom single,
y'all be getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah, that's tough. So I tell people I don't mind paying for extra space for my peace.
All right.
I don't mind that. And it's not that we get into it, but it's just that we actually miss each other because she don't see me. I'm in here, I'm in this room from maybe 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. at night, and I might see her 3 times. Mm-hmm. When her brother moved in with us, sometimes we didn't see him at all because he would come in and he leave, and that's what space does. So when you have 5,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, you don't see people. But when you're cramped in up under each other, yeah. So the space, I get that. You hit that.
And can I go back to something that Carmen was talking about too a little bit ago? The idea that, you know, I agree with you, Carmen, that with regard to, you know, ain't no good men or ain't no good women and all that kind of stuff or whatever. You know, if you believe that narrative, then that's what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what.
And I dare to say, where are you looking? Right? Because like you say all the time, Black, you know, social media is a hot mess, right? And so if you're looking in that space where you see the opposite of what you desire, while you in that space looking for your mate, that ain't what you need to look. You know, you might need to get back outside. You might need to go visit some places, do some things, figure out the caliber and the type of person that you desire, and figure out where those people are and hang out there. You know, maybe your next meet is your next mate is in a business meeting somewhere or something, because you need them to be entrepreneurially minded, right? And so like when you hang out with entrepreneurs in order to find it, you know. You're not gonna find it with the booty shakers. If you're not looking for a booty shaker, don't hang out with booty shakers. You know what I'm saying?
And so it's like, so with the independence, my thing is, okay, the male independent, the female independent. I feel like because everybody been separated for so long and everybody doing their own thing, that like Wanda was saying, she works on herself. She has to, you know, she's not messed up about nothing because she knows she still has to work on herself. So from whatever demons she gathered through the past, she's working on herself. So
you have to heal.
Carmen is busy building up herself because Carmen set goals that she wants to meet.
Right.
So these independent women, they wouldn't mind being in a relationship, but they not messed up about it either.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And like it's established different strokes for different folks.
That's right.
And you have to fit in and go with the folks that you're looking for. Just like Carmen, she don't really put herself in the riffraff category because she knows what she wants. She's high maintenance.
That's right.
So why would she hang out at the ratchet when she knows she wants that scalable? You get what I'm saying? So an upper echelon. So she's not gonna she don't place herself in those areas. She like being around entrepreneurs. She likes
That's right.
being around people that's moving in the next direction, just like you are now, Nell, from going to your meetings and your seminars and things. Your mindset is different. So
That's
some of the people, you don't turn your back or nothing because you want everybody to move up and prosper.
Absolutely.
But your interest is different. Since
That's
you've been on this independent, finding your new self, your new journey, your vision is different.
Right.
And a lot of people can't adjust or accept your vision. And that goes with
And that's
past
okay.
mates.
That don't mean
Sometimes
friends,
you
that
have to
means
let
relatives, that means anybody. Like I'm
anybody.
gonna put myself around the people that's gonna support me.
And that's what Carmen is doing, and that's what Wanda came from where she came from and is at where she's at because of her. She can't nobody say, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be doing this. We watched this girl come from and get to.
Right.
And when she wants to show how she's living, I understand.
Amen.
Because of where she
And that's
came
okay.
from.
You probably
some do it just to throw in your face, but some people have a reason.
Right.
Yeah, y'all. It was a 1-bedroom shack.
Thank you.
With 5 people sleeping in 1 bedroom.
Yeah, come on.
But look at what I did.
Right.
Right.
Look at where I did.
And a means of encouragement. If I could do it, so can you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for motivation. But then a lot of people see that and she trying to show that. But no, I was like, absolutely.
That's why you should.
Just like Carmen coming on here telling about her business and her education. Is not many females her age that's even on that level. Girl, I'm finna go to the club. I'm finna get this Sexy Red got this red. I'm finna go get this red weed. They just got it at 5-star. I'm finna go get that. I'm finna go, and that she like, go ahead. I don't knock what you do, but I'm finna go over here.
Yeah.
And that's very rare because today with social media being everything, y'all. Social media being everything. And I talk about it all the time. Back in the Gap, there was no social media.
That's right.
We did not know what the neighbor was doing unless we heard them yelling and fussing and they come outside. Unless we seen the ambulance coming over to their house. Unless we seen the police over their house. Then all us get in the road and we looking because we want to see. But guess what? We can sit right here and just go to social media and watch everything that happens in their house. So social media is a huge influence. And it has the beautiful women that's sitting there watching, and you guys are rare because majority of women are trying to be like those Instagram models. They want to get the attention, the likes of those Instagram models. You guys like, I am who I am. If somebody see me and they like me, they like me. You're not going out of your way.
It's all about what's your motive. What's your motive?
Get accepted.
Is what's your motive for what you do? What's your motive for posting and what's your motive? And for me, you guys, like I said, my business is fashion, and I like to encourage and inspire women to be comfortable in whatever stage of life that they're in.
I love that.
So I don't worry about people being judgmental. When you do what you're doing and it's not about anyone else, but it's about you, I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I don't worry about it. I used to, but I don't worry about it because I know what my motive is.
That's right.
And for Carmen to come on here for the first time and admit she's high maintenance, she ain't worried either. This girl said, I said, so you high maintenance? She said, yes. And then she continued her conversation. So Rip Rap know if they step to her, they're going to have to come with it. And that's why she say they don't step to her.
They don't step to you, don't
they don't step. She say very few people step to her because they know when they step, they're going to have to come with it. And they like, I know what you about. And I bet you 1 or 2 guys may come to her that know they not on her level. Man, I know what you about. And if I understand that, and then they fall in that friend zone. You know what I'm saying? Because they know this girl's about her business. And I hope she keep this mindset through the rest of your life. And I see 100,000 You know what I'm saying? She making $100,000 a year at 30 years old. I see that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I started that at like 25.
Come on, baby. Come on, because that's a low number.
Yeah, you gotta get past that 100.
Finding who you want, who's on what you're on, and just stick with that person. That would solve so many problems.
Yes, it would.
People have preferences, but they want to force that onto someone else who's not on the same thing. And I think that's really the issue that we're dealing with. You know, it's a lot of back and forth with the conversations online, but in real life, people aren't doing this. You know, we have even this conversation that we're having now, which is a good conversation, but it's not a end all be all. Even if we say, let's all do, we can get
because it's something
living a different
strokes for different folks.
Right.
Strokes for different folks. Don't try to knock somebody for what they're doing. Just try to be the best you can be. Try to find your peace. Try to find your happiness.
Try to find your lane. Is the main thing.
Right.
Find your lane.
Of course, a lot of the issue, you know, and of course I have to speak as a therapist as well, is that we don't know who we are and what we actually want. We're following social media. We're looking at the outside. We're not figuring out, you know, what our inner child was missing. And that's why we're chasing the booty shakers or whatever, because we don't know who we are. We don't know ourselves and all that. Well, let's dig in and figure that out. Let's and utilize the experience that you have had to help yourself to grow, right? Because each of those experiences should be helping you to grow and learn who you are and be confident in who you are. It is then you can sit and say, I'll wait till my person till I meet my actual person.
That's right. That's where that single by choice comes in.
Yeah, I will focus on my mission and goals in my business or whatever other venture that I'm doing, and not be so honed in on I need to find my person.
Right.
Y'all gonna meet if you stay on your game. You stay on top of your game. Keep going.
Right. And that was me. I never.
Yeah, just because we on that game. Just because we on that game don't mean we ain't paying attention. We paying attention.
Because we still paying attention.
We still paying attention now.
Exactly that. You know, I had to take time. I stepped away from my business for over a year. Really just took time to reconnect with myself. So I'm saying these things to you now, and you see me saying it with ease now, but I was not always.
Right. It's a process. Everyone has to go through their process.
I mean, I had to step away from mine. And like she said, and I said on this podcast, back in 2010, I was making over $100,000 a year, and that was just throwing parties. So that was nothing.
Right.
But like Carmen said, you can get so wrapped up in that you lose yourself. And sometimes you have to step back. And I took like 3 years off because I was like, it wasn't about money because I didn't have time to know who I was. I was losing myself because Lil Jon then was out. I was on that Patron. I was up all night. I was, you know, I was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, Dallas.
You get distracted in all the stuff.
And I got distracted. And I was losing myself. I was making money, but losing myself and not liking who I was at the same time. So sometimes you have to step back and be like, okay, find out who you are.
Right.
And then step back, regroup.
Right.
And then you'll know how to get back up. And like Carmen said, she's speaking on a positive trail now.
Yeah.
But it hasn't always been positive. And I have to agree with that.
The same here. The same here. You just gotta go through your process. That's all.
That's it.
And it's not easy. And I really, now that I've had to go through it on my own, I can't be upset at people that choose not to do the work because
it's hard, right?
It's hard.
It's hard work.
And
when people sit in my therapy chair, I'm like, hey, this is gonna be hard. I'm just not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna bullshit you. This is about to be hard. And sometimes you're going to want to step away from it. And sometimes you're going to have to look in the mirror and deal with stuff that you don't want to deal with. But you got to hold yourself completely accountable. And you got to step one step at a time. My job is to be here to hold your hand and step you through it. Right. And all that. But you got to get through the hard part in order for it to level out a bit, you know.
And the society deemed beautiful women, believe it or not, and I didn't know this because I've never been intimidated by a woman because My family had money. I had education. And I just went after what I wanted, and I pretty much, got what I wanted, who I wanted. But a lot of men, I find out, and from watching different videos and listening to them they are intimidated by a lot of you, beautiful women, but especially mess up and be educated, mess up and have a business. Right. That's why a lot of you women, like Carmen says, men don't even approach her. But it's because she fits into the society deemed beautiful women, plus educated, plus got a business. So all those are negatives, to be honest with you, with the average Joe that wants to.
So I guess my question is, with everything you say, well, where's the problem? Because if a man is intimidated, the problem is with that person.
Right.
Yeah. That's not our problem.
Yeah, but this is what a lot of the guys are saying.
They're either trying to step out of their league or they need to build themselves up. They're not ready.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just about to say, Wanda. It's not so much that they're intimidated by me. It's that they know they're going to have to step their game up, and they would choose to just stay as they are and go over here with someone who's not
no determination.
Yeah, not willing to do the work. Not willing to do the work.
That ain't even nothing to trip over. If that's what they want, that's what they want.
Yeah, the question was asked: why do beautiful women, the pretty women, pretty privileged women, why are so many of them single?
Most attractive women, most high beautiful women, they are oftentimes single. All right, you see them by themselves. They ain't wifed up. They ain't with nobody. Listen up. Number one, because they think that she has to have a relationship or has to have a boyfriend because she's way too beautiful to be single, right? So, you'll see a girl, attractive woman. Most time, dudes are going to think she's sitting by herself. You know what I mean? It must be a trap. It must be a hoax. It can't be real. She got to be in a relationship. She's just by herself. So I ain't even going to go approach her because she got to be in a relationship because she's way too beautiful to be single. Number two, because of social media and because that women got a lot of options in social media nowadays, most dudes, they're going to just think that a beautiful girl, has and gets a lot of attention. Her phone ain't never dry. She got a bunch of people on her roster. So why even bother approaching? And number three, believe it or not, most pretty women would just rather be single by choice rather than deal with drama.
And in what he said, I saw what Carmen said earlier, and it ended with what Wanda said. Because Carmen was like, men don't approach her. And so he said, they not going to approach. And then he said that women are single by choice. They don't want to deal with the drama. And when you're independent, been alone, you cool every now and then with the affection, but like Wanda said, every now and then if she want to yell at the top of her lungs at 2:00 in the morning in her bedroom and without somebody saying what the hell wrong with you, she can do that. She can do that.
That's all. I just want to be able to leave my drawers on the floor and nobody say nothing.
Hey girl, you better pick them things up.
And I'm okay with that because, like I said, that's the season that I'm in. And when the seasons change, I'll be happy to make the adjustments that are needed for the right one.
That's right. Right.
Contrary to belief,
but the wrong one gonna have a fight.
Pretty women don't get hollered at in public often, man. And I get it. Like, you see him and you like, damn, she's super bad. I know she got jokers lined up around the block, but the truth is most men are intimidated by an extraordinarily beautiful woman, so they won't say anything to them in public. They're more in their comfort zone, on social media because they can take the rejection a little bit better. Most women get hollered at when they're not even looking their best and when they're not even feeling their best. When they all done up, dudes ain't even hollering at them because they lack the confidence. They wait until they catch them at a time where they kind of feel like they're on the same level as them. But let her be out with all her shiny things on, face beat here flowing down the back with that ish on. I guarantee jokers is not hollering at her. And that's why when a joker does, it may be a joker that you may not even feel like is particularly handsome or has a whole bunch going on. but he had the courage to approach her. And that's what she's digging about him. See, you can have on a chain, you can have a whole bunch of money with no confidence, but that joker who don't got a whole bunch, but he had enough confidence to walk up to her and approach her like a man, especially when she's with one of her friends, he gonna take the cake every time, because she knows if he was man enough to run down on me when I'm feeling at my baddest, he's man enough to love me at my lowest. You don't hear me though.
Now that's what Wanda said earlier. She was like, yeah, you know, I'll talk to him. Is, you know, if he approached. So, you know, because she's not in a relationship. So she said, yeah, she approached. She'll see where they coming at. And she said that. So when I'm listening to them, I asked them a lot of questions in the beginning just to see their response, what they were going to say. And then it's falling in line with all these videos because they're hitting all of them.
All the points, yeah.
On the head. So it's like they're not approaching you guys, not quick to approach you guys. And that don't make any of you feel offended, because your eyes is on a prize. That's right. You have a prize. Now, if you that woman sitting at home, probably struggling, trying to go to school, trying to go to college.
Been there.
Struggling in college. And you need that emotional support. And you don't have your friends are always saying, good, you're gonna get it. Just hang in there, you'll get it. But they going to the club. You up at trying to finish an essay at 3 or 4 in the morning that you got to turn in at 8 in the morning. And you need that emotional support. Like we talked one time that bringing money to the table, a man bringing money to the table is cool. But sometimes an independent woman, they need that emotional support. It ain't that you need his money.
Like it's not, I think, you know, again, for me, you know, I don't want to date anybody who not making any money. I'm not saying that at all. But if you have the skill set, if you have the desire, if you have to go get them, but you just don't know what to do and you need help with that. Like I don't mind a diamond in the rough, right? And stuff. But the idea here is that everybody, not just women, not just young women, not just women, everybody needs emotional support. Right? Correct. Is that you learn how to give yourself that when you don't have it from somewhere else, right? Sometimes your friends will suffice. Sometimes your mama will suffice, right? And you get whatever you can get from the outside, but you start to learn to balance that out yourself when you don't have a romantic relationship. And that's absolutely okay, right? I've had people in my life that they were emotional support and they wanted the romance, but I'm like, no, thank you. But thank you for the emotional support because I needed that, you know. But again, different stages, you know.
Different stages. That's that friend zone shit. I stayed away from that friend zone. Damn that.
But again, that's a choice. That's a choice. If I tell you this is where I see you, and I see you there for a particular reason, right?
Right. Yeah.
If you want to step out of friend zone and you want to be man zone, then step into man territory. Do the things that I'm looking for, right? But if that's not who you are, I don't want you to try to do that on anything outside of who you are. Because I'm also not about trying to change people into what they don't want to be or what they're not.
Look,
right?
I had to learn that. I learned that the hard way. And I'll never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever do that again. Because trying to date someone on potential, and that I can change them. And man, look, I got so burnt out trying to do that in one relationship till if it's a deal breaker, God damn it, it's a deal breaker. If it's something I'm not going to tolerate, I ain't going to tolerate it. I'm not going to try to say, well, maybe she'll, no.
Now,
if it's not,
I've been there, done that. I'm sure all of us have. You know, like I said, that's a stage, but that's why you have to take the time to focus on. You have to take some time to yourself to focus on yourself, to build yourself up, so that you can realize that you have a choice.
That's right.
You don't have to take everything that comes along.
No,
you have a choice.
One hitting that on the head
and wait until it comes along, and be going through a whole lot of drama just to say,
thank you. It's not worth
you hitting that on the head. And if you go back and look at previous podcasts, I say it so many times, and Chanel will tell you also, when I learned to love myself,
Mm-hmm.
when I really learned what self-love was,
Mm-hmm.
I had a totally different attitude about life and the people that I met.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all about, and it's not selfish. It's not selfish. People got to stop thinking it's selfish
First of all,
to love
even
yourself.
if it is selfish, that's okay.
The thing
You
is
need
okay to be
self-love first. If you don't
Right.
love yourself, how do you really 100% know how to love someone else?
Thank
And
So
you
I
have
had
to
to
build
step back.
you have to build yourself up, because if you don't build yourself up, then you're gonna need somebody.
Right.
You're gonna
Yeah.
need somebody to do that for you, and you're gonna feel like you got to take the first thing smoking, because you're gonna feel like ain't nothing else gonna come along.
There you
But
go.
when you build yourself up, you
recognize your
realize
worth.
that I can choose. I have a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah.
And like we said on a
absolutely.
previous podcast, I would talk about my journeys, how I never struggled getting women, how I never struggled speaking up and doing things. And then the guy say, well, Black, how do you think you became that? You know? And then I'm like, you know, I was just born to do this. But then he broke it down and say, you don't think your parents played a role in that?
Right.
Then I started thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I say, damn. You know, so like I say, this is therapeutic to me, this podcast, because I learned where I got my confidence from.
Right.
It was growing up with mom at maybe 4 years old, Head Start. I can remember her tucking my shirt in my pants with my belt and straightening my shirt. She said, people's going to talk about you. People going to say nasty things to you.
Regardless.
But that's just what they're going to do. People going to talk about you all your life. So you can't let that bother you or bring you down or stop you from doing something you want to do. Stop you from
When you know
achieving
who
what you
you
want to
are,
do. And I was hearing
when
this.
you learn to know who you are, it's not going to bother you.
Yeah.
But,
So
but that's the process. I had to go through that process.
From 4 years old on up, my parents started instilling that in me. So when I hit junior high, when I hit high school, that's why I walked around the halls like I did, no care in the world. Hey, what's up? And I go to the prettiest girl in the room. I didn't go to no riffraff, what was considered riffraff back in the Gap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the Lisas, the Vanities, the society deemed beautiful women. That's who I went to. And like today, y'all society women, you got Beyonce up there. Then they say, this is what they pushing. That's beautiful, Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Alicia Keys in the picture. You know, so those are what's considered society deemed beautiful women that a lot of the women are dying really trying to look like.
That's also a media narrative. That's a narrative that's being pushed on everybody, thinking, oh, well, you know, long hair, light skin is what's beautiful.
Right.
We are all beautiful. My girls tease me all the time, more light skin self, you know, because I love a chocolate man, and I was trying to make me some chocolate babies and all that, because I love the chocolate, right? And all that. Yeah, there are so many adorable, beautiful, absolutely stunning dark-skinned women with hair like this that's like killing, right?
And to be honest with you,
all for the narrative that they tell you, you know, and all that okay, with these features are what's considered attractive, right? Or I struggled with that with my size my whole life, right? I'm fine as hell, but I ain't think it because society didn't say I was fine just because I was heavy. Right.
We all go through that phase. We definitely all go through that phase. I mean, like I said, beautiful is all shades, colors, sizes, and it's in the eye of the beholder. There's someone for everyone.
Absolutely.
So that if you
but the sad part about
yourself, you'll be all right.
The sad part about it is a lot of the younger generation don't believe that because the parents their peers are not instilling that in them. Mm-hmm. So that's why you're seeing so many 19, 21-year-olds already got BBLs and lip injections and the cheeks now. And they're doing all that because they want to look like the Instagram models. This is the Instagram.
Then everybody look alike.
Instagram, all of them look alike.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I have to disagree with that statement because I just think it's just putting everyone into the same category. To me, if a woman wants to wear a lot of makeup, a lot of extensions, no makeup, no extensions, natural, whatever that case may be, as long as she's doing that so she can feel good about herself, then that's fine.
Though. I'm not convinced that everybody's doing it because it makes them feel good.
About it.
I'm not convinced that everybody is doing it because it makes them feel good.
It makes them feel good, but why?
I think a lot of it has to do with I just
know what a woman. I don't think
right, but I'm saying I do know quite a few.
You never know what a woman has been through and what she's going through,
and exactly right, and what she's still going through, and is she using that? Because, like, for example, my daughter's best friend is freaking gorgeous, right? She wears more makeup than most grown people I know, right? And she will not take it off for anybody, and that's because she grew up in a household where her mother did not, pour into her in that way. She didn't take care of her in the way she should have been taken care of, right? And stuff. And she's just really developing a relationship with her father and all that. The esteem level is so low, right? And that's what I get concerned about when I see everybody trying to do the same thing all the time. Are you doing it because this is what I really want, or do I just want to fit in? Right. And
right. Again, and that's what I was saying, Wanda.
Again, I run into these women all the time that really feel sad inside. The first podcast I did with Black said, I need to know why these beauty queens killing themselves. I said, baby, because they sad. Beauty don't equal happy, right? And all that. The makeup.
Beauty comes from the inside
it comes from the inside, right?
And so you were taught that, Wanda.
It's not a judgment on my behalf. It's a concern as a mental health specialist. What's really going on with her? Is she really that confident, or is it fake confidence in the moment because I just want to fit in because I do feel sad, right?
And a lot of them try to fit in.
Yeah.
I know a girl right now. I know a woman.
That's their shit. You know what I'm saying?
I know a woman. I think she's 28. She's 28, I think. She went and got a whole body makeover for her man.
See,
and even the girl that died, DC Young
Fly. Motivation.
It's all about the reason why you're doing what you're doing.
I keep coming back to what Wanda said so long ago about finding what you want and stick with it. I started having plastic surgery before I turned 30, but I did it for me.
Yeah,
right.
Who doesn't?
Now it's like Chanel and Wanda said. If you're doing it for you because it makes you feel good, yes. But I'm sure you know a lot of females that's doing that because they want to look like or be like. You did it because it made you feel good.
Yeah.
I think also a big thing that we all can apply to everything that we talked about is just because something is not for you doesn't mean it should not be for everyone.
Right. Like I said, there's someone for everyone.
Yeah. So it's just weird conversations going on about things that don't concern you, because you can always find someone who's not doing what
absolutely.
So if it's someone who wants to be natural and go to the gym and all that jazz, I let them. I can't force my
opinion on them. Right.
But yet people have all these conversations about plastic surgery, and to me it's not that serious because it's optional. And no one is
like I say, if it's for you and it's what you want to do because you want to do it,
right?
It's the ones that I know that say,
with these wings, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm gonna save up because I want to look like such and such because John be jocking her and I want John to like me. And I'm like, that's not a reason for you to go under this knife because John can see somebody else next week and leave you alone. Do it for you. Do it because you looked in that mirror and said, I need this done, this tucked, this lifted. Do it for you, not for no man. That's the last thing that I hate women do, because this girl went and got her body sculptured for a man. And it wasn't what she particularly wanted to do, but she figured that man would like that. And that's the guy I'm talking about, y'all. This is one of the most intelligent Black men He's hardworking, and he struggles because the circle that he hang in. And like Carmen said, you got to get out of that circle that you're in. And I mentioned this to you too. And now to hear this young lady, Carmen said, and even wonder if you're, and Chanel, if you're trying to, if in your circle is not doing it for you, ladies, will y'all tell this man, get outside of your circle. That circle, you did not outgrew that circle, bro. You did not outgrew that circle. There's women out there that's good women. I got two, and they single. Right here, they single, and but like one of them said, you got to come with your game. But she's acceptance, and when she say come with your game, all of us have exceptions.
That's right.
All of us, it is what it is. But there's always an exception to the rule. Just but you have to be polite. You have to be respectful, and he's respectful and polite. He just been going through. He got in a relationship with somebody who put him on that level, and he's trying to find what he had because they broke up. So he's stuck in that loop. So we need to break that. We need to break that loop and get him out that loop and let him see that every woman and Wanda preach so much. It's someone for everyone.
Yes.
It's somebody out there for every person on earth. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's in a polygamy.
Nobody is perfect. That's the thing, is like nobody's looking for perfection. I'm just looking for the perfect person for me.
Right.
Right. I need. Right. And
right.
all that. And if we keep that in mind, that you're not looking for a perfect person, everybody come with junk. We all.
The problem is, like you guys are saying, he came from tradition because his mom tradition. Okay. You can't be 100% traditional in an unconditional society.
It's not the society.
An untraditional society, you just can't. Just like in school, the way they teaching these kids how to do math now, Carmen couldn't do that math. Wanda, you couldn't do that math. We'll have to go and watch several YouTube videos or sit in that class because it's a totally different. They not just doing numbers and going. They got a certain way. That's so many things. And I'm like, when I looked at the work that the 14-year-old doing, I said, really, all you had to do was this, carry that, multiply the ones in the parentheses first, get that number, multiply by the one outside the parentheses. But in school, they teaching them something totally different. So with me saying that is you have to adjust with the times.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 100% throw away tradition just in the trash can, but just like Wanda said and Carmen said, when it comes to their soft sides, you got to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. It's a time to be traditional, and it's a time to accept what's going on. And then you can mix the two if you mentally inclined enough to mix the two to get what you want out of it. But we have to, in a changing world, being traditional, you will be left behind. And my other co-host before I took it over, he was 100% stuck on tradition. And I'm like, look, man, that's not how that goes. And he's still having a hard time. He struggles with dating.
Black.
Yeah.
Carmen was about to say something.
Go ahead.
I disagree. Just like you told us a little while ago to stick with our standards and what we're looking for, I would tell your friend the same thing. Both of the guys, if they're looking for some traditional relationship and they want this certain, I would tell them to continue to hold that standard for themselves. It just may take you a little while or getting excited.
Right, there you go.
So I would
but step out of your comfort zone sometimes.
I think that's a double edge because
step out of your comfort zone.
You need to adapt in order to move forward, right? Because you may look for the traditional, right? The super traditional, but like you just said earlier, the world has changed, right? And so you got to figure out what parts of that traditional is most important for you,
right?
And stuff like that. I still want a traditional man to an extent. I don't want to touch the garbage. Okay, put the garbage out, right? And all that. There are certain aspects that I still would like to have in my guy, right? And stuff like that. But I don't, I don't necessarily agree with or what's not for me is the way Mimi and Papa lived. I don't want that, right? So there's a difference, and I talk about this all the time. I talk about deal breakers, right? There's certain bits in our relationships that we're going to bend, we're going to compromise, right? I have my clients do this activity where I'm like, create your perfect mate, like right from the rooter to the tutor, how you want them to act, how you want them to be in bed, like write all of that down on this paper, right? Now let's go back over that and talk about what's your deal breakers. What will you be willing to compromise for? What are you willing to compromise, right? If we're looking at, he needs to be 6 feet tall. Will you take him at 5'9"? So what is it that you're willing to bend on, right? At my stage in life, I would not have a man who had little kids. That kid better be almost out of high school because I'm ready to do some things. My baby just made 18, right? And so that right now, and again, those will change as your life progresses. That's
right, different stages, yeah.
Because of where I am in my life right now, right? When I first was dating, I wanted a man to have no kids because I want our kids to be the first kids he have, right? And all that. I found that, but I still chose not the right one at the time, right? Because I was so busy focused on those little deal breakers that could have been compromised. I could have also said, well, if he has one kid, he needs to be taking care of that kid, and I don't want baby mama drama, right? And stuff. So I could have adjusted that and possibly ended up with someone else, right? Not saying that wasn't an experience that I needed to have. Didn't necessarily need to have it for so long. But again, because of traditional values, I stayed in a relationship because I ain't want to get divorced, and I gotta hang in there, and being willing to walk away from what doesn't work is also important, right? So yeah, keep your standard. There should be a certain standard, of course, right? But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater per se, right? Don't take one or two things that is fixable. I had one client who was like, I can't, oh no, and if his tooth ain't right, and I'm like, baby, that's cosmetic. You can help him get his teeth fixed.
We can fix that teeth, but
right,
is that
right.
it? Is
but
that
that's
it?
going to be where she was in her mindset.
But it has to be the right one.
It has to, yeah.
It's got to be the right one. If
he
not the
comes
right
with
one,
everything on your list, you gonna throw him out because his teeth bad? Baby, take him, go get some more.
That used to be my problem because I was looking for perfect, and I had to learn that no one's perfect. I'm not even, when it was me realizing that I wasn't perfect, because we all gonna go through that stage where we think we are the perfect model. But then maturity comes in when you're able to see your own flaws and realize I'm not perfect. And when I learned I wasn't perfect, when I learned that and was able to mess over people and say I'm sorry like they was doing me, and was able to fail and bounce back.
Get back up. Yeah.
That was a experience for me, because I had to keep principal lists in school. I had to have dean's lists when I went to college. My parents had me under such tense where you can't make no mistakes. So when I got a chance to get out there,
you was like,
I got out there. I got it. I started selling dope. I started anything that they told me not to do. I started doing. I was like, man, I'm free, Yeah. But no one's perfect. And when I learned that, I think I became a much better person, less judgmental. And I just started accepting people. And on here, Chanel taught me what I was doing. I was learning my breaking points, my boundaries. I was learning them. And before then, I was just like, nope, I can't do this. You do this, I can't do that. But I had to set up deal breakers. And when I learned, and I was like, okay, that's what I was doing. I had what's called deal breakers. It wasn't that I thought I was better or they can't do this. I just had certain deal breakers that if you do this, I can't deal with you.
And that's okay.
Now, this is the guy who I was telling y'all about that's setting his ways. And when the question came up to him, he read one of my posts and he commented on it. This used to be my co-host, but peep what he says, and I'm mixed on what he said, but like y'all say, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
And what worked for him may not work for me, and it's no standard mold. The first thing we have to realize, there's no mold to life.
Oh, thank you.
Some people gonna be business owners. Some people gonna be drug dealers. Some people not gonna be nothing. They're gonna sleep in their mom. They're gonna be a 35, 40, 45-year-old man sleeping in a bedroom at his mama's house. Mm-hmm. So it's no mold to life. They didn't give us a book to say, hey, this is life. Because when you out here, it's whatever floats your boat, what moves you. But peep what he said about women, the beautiful women being single. This was his thought on it.
What up? Speak on the podcast. What's up with it, man? This is Jay. This your boy Jay, Phantom Jay. Yeah, Black, you asked the question, why are highly attractive women the most single and least to get asked out? Because it's a lot of intimidation. And men assume that women that are attractive, they already have somebody. Or it could be the attitude. There's a lot of women. You got some women that I can't say a lot, but you got some women, man, that are attractive but got nasty attitudes, man. And people just assume that, or their reputation got around. I know a girl personally, very attractive woman, but she get around. She didn't have a lot of partners based on her looks. You know what I'm saying? So men talk. So when a woman been out there, she's promiscuous. She's been out there on the dating scene, been doing her thing with different men. Men talk. So you'll see them, the men that have sex with them, but a lot of times they don't wipe them. Or sometimes they don't even ask them out because they don't want to be seen with them. And the ones that want them and want to be with them and will treat them right, those women, they look over those type of men. So it ain't a lot of, they have a lot of sexual options, more than men do. But as far as them being asked out, man just assume his self-esteem may not be there. Even if his esteem is there, she may shoot him down. And then she's going after a man that don't want her. So that's what I think why, most attractive women, most of them are single. A lot of them have masculine traits. They be in high power corporate America, and they have masculine traits, man. And two men, if you're a real man, you're not going to put up with a woman being masculine or domineering, or, she don't know how to turn that masculinity on and off. Because in the corporate world, you got to do that in order to compete. But a lot of times you find the women that's attractive, they be by themselves. And, so that's my take on it. Speak on the podcast. It's Phantom J. My thoughts. Peace.
Ooh, ladies, what y'all think about
that?
Well, I'm gonna do
what Wanda said.
Because I got an early morning. I'm gonna have to exit, but I'm gonna say, speak for yourself. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, because when he described all of that, but the key thing he said was a lot of women don't know how to turn that masculinity on and off. Okay, now when I met mine, good paying job, running her corporation and things, I thought it was gonna be a head knocking thing. But like Wanda said and Carmen commented, it's how you mix in with that person.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Right. And both of these ladies explained to me that it's a turn on and off. They know when to be soft.
It's the right one, yes.
If it's the right one. And see, I didn't see it like that.
It is the right person. If you
I didn't see it like that.
You feel safe with a man, you're not operating in that masculine energy. You just
right. That's right.
Girl, if you show me that you are going to step up and be able to make me feel safe, emotionally safe, physically safe, like then if I feel protected, you won't see that side of me.
Correct.
You won't.
Yeah.
I agree with. I was reading a comment from Naquita. She said a lot of women don't have the opportunity to turn it off if men don't step up. I was going to make this comment right before she posted that. Yeah. You get from the woman what you give. I would have two very different responses. Let me give you an example. If it was a man that I was secure with, that had shown me that he was trustworthy and I felt safe. If he say, baby, get out of the bed and go get me some water. Okay, baby. But right. And that comes, and you know what? That would come natural, really. But if I know I'm dealing with a joker who gaming, all this and that, babe, first of all, you ain't gonna be in the bed. We're just gonna speak hypothetically speaking. Right. If he, baby, get out the bed and give us some water. Nigga, go get some water yourself. You gonna get what you give. And I would exit that situation.
Before one to get out of here, I want to let them know what they did, her and Carmen, what they did to me. They kind of shot the ego down a little bit.
Thank y'all.
Because they said that a woman turns it off when they want to. You feel what I'm saying? When they feel like she just said, when they feel like they're safe. Yeah. I thought it was just me. You know, like BPD, I thought it was me. But because she started she was used to working 2 and 3 jobs. But when she got with me and we were together, I'm going to say 4 to 6 months, she kind of started easing up a little bit. So I'm thinking it's just me. But at the end of the day, if she wasn't comfortable, she was going to be doing just like Wanda say, nigga, go get your own water. Nigga, you better get up and get it yourself. So women treat men
keeping it real.
The way that man presents himself until they get tired is what they basically saying.
Yeah, that's it.
And I just thought it was.
Are you treating her in a way that is conducive to softness? Do I have to be hard around you, nigga? Like what? You know?
Yeah.
The men don't. I think some men, because I'll never say all. Everyone's not the same. But if you get in, if she's not submitting to you as quote of what that's supposed to be,
right?
You have to look at yourself.
Look at yourself.
Wow.
Look at yourself.
No, it's not hard. It's not hard for and men might think it, and a lot of men think
it's really not
that it's not
it's hard. Not hard at all.
She ain't gonna submit because she too strong. She too this. You not the one.
You come with the right stuff.
Because the one gonna already know that.
You come with the right stuff, bro. I tell you this. You ain't gonna have to ask no questions. I got you.
And all this time, I'm thinking it's me, but if she wasn't comfortable, she never would have done it, according to Carmen and Wanda. Yep.
Right.
So it ain't got nothing to do with your money, your look, your nothing. If they not comfortable with you in that leader seat or whatever, women not gonna. Majority of the women, like I say, it's always to each his own. Because we know some women, and everybody on here knows some women, and in some relationships where that man ain't doing nothing, and she take care. But if that's what works for them,
that's what works.
That's what works for them.
That's where they at right now.
But if you're looking for that leader per se, and leader takes on a bunch of definitions. But if you're looking for a man that knows how to lead, we're not gonna say a leader. We're gonna say knows how to lead. Mm-hmm. And when you guys get with him, y'all build together and lead together.
Right. That's right.
Like I said on the previous podcast, all that 50-50, no, it's 100-100. If a bill due and I got 80% and she got 20, I'll flip over. It is what it is. Let's get it paid. The bottom line is getting it paid. But a lot of men want to go 50-50. You know, now that because they used to paying everything, so now they're saying, well, if that woman can pay 50 because they don't want to be used, like and show fall in this category. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be used by a woman because a lot of women have been known to manipulate men, especially now more than ever. You got OnlyFans, you got, whatever. And women feeling pretty privileged, they are using men for financial reasons. They're not going to be with them seriously.
I know you got to go, Wanda, but I just keep coming back to what she said. Like with this, again, you have to find someone who wants the same thing as you. Do that with that person. If you don't want to be 50-50, well, you don't get with someone who's be 50-50. You can't get with someone and try to force them to do what you want. You need to match up with someone who wants
Match up.
Exactly.
I feel
exactly.
But yeah, and like Lonnie said at the end of the day, it's like this to each his own. And he pretty much saying what you guys been saying all along. Find your person. So when people say your person, that goes to what you've been preaching, Carmen. Your person is whoever fits what you're looking for. And like Wanda said, it may take for a long time.
It may take a while.
Just like Wanda knows at the age she is and her career and what she's doing, she knows exactly what she's looking for. Now, will she go out with somebody that's not what she's looking for? Is she bored? Yeah. But she knows how far to go with that. Exactly. It's just she knows in her head how far to go. Carmen knows what she's looking for and what a man has to bring, because she's not going to settle for this. Just certain deal breakers that she's not going to be willing to break.
Right. I think also Wanda and Black, what we're saying is true, but I think a lot of people are actually skipping over the dating part of relationships.
Oh, that's so true, Carmen.
And you're dating someone, you're talking to them, you're asking questions, you're getting to know them.
Right.
Y'all can move forward together. People are just kind of jumping straight into the
That's what they're doing. You know what? Many people don't date like talking about now. They meet him at the club, they roll a blunt, they sit in the car, they talk, he talk his way into the house. And then in a day, if not that night, they have that one night stand. And then, but Carmen is a different breed, because I wasn't expecting her to come. I thought she was going to be totally different, but she has standards. She has quality about herself. So that shows you that age don't matter. It's that individual.
It's just individual.
You can be mature at 16 and somebody 25 immature. So Carmen,
maturity is not an age.
It's not.
It's not an age, right?
Yeah.
It's not an age. So yeah.
Let Wanda plug her stuff, like promo. Wanda, tell us about you,
Wanda, before you get out of here. Let everybody know what you do, and we enjoy the conversation.
Oh my goodness. I am a fashion designer. My website is llconnects.com. And I created a fashion design, which is called the LL Sleeks. And what it is accessories for stilettos, mainly stilettos, but any shoe. What it does is it enhances the look of the leg, and it has support. And it takes that shoe to the next level. Again, the website is llconnects.com.
Connects with an S?
LL Connects with the S.
Okay.
.com.
I think we're going to have to get her on here to show her product and what you do. We're going to work on that also. Because that's interesting. You caught my ear. I'm like,
interesting.
Well, but what I'm all about is building women. Like I said, I think that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder should be you. And beauty is from the inside out. I am not traditional. God is the head. He's my driving force, but I'm not a traditional person. I don't judge. So with my fashion design, I inspire and I encourage whatever woman that I'm working with to be confident in whatever it is she's confident in. So I don't have a certain look. I don't have a certain style, because there's not a certain look or a certain style. So I promote confidence. Again, it's llconnects.com. And I wear so many hats, I can't even tell all of them in this broadcast because we've been on long enough. But yes, mainly my goal is to encourage and to build, and do that in a non-judgmental way, because judgmental ain't even my job.
No.
I love that.
She's the most least judgmental person you'll probably me. So she when she says that, there's no BS. She don't judge because she used to be judged. And
I can feel that. I can feel that.
Yeah,
I can feel that from you, Wanda, for real.
Thank you. Well, well, again, go to the website, leave me a note. I have LL Sleeks. That's the name of my fashion designs. I have.
Why don't you type it at the bottom? Add it to the bottom of the screen. Just type it in.
You okay? Click on the chat.
Yes, you can do the chat.
Look.
Put the website in the chat. And I want to know a little about Carmen business too.
I was about to say, now Carmen, give us your goods.
So I've been an esthetician for 13, 14 years. I do mostly ombre brows. It's the tattoo brow. I teach classes. I have virtual classes online, but I'm stepping over into being a brand ambassador. For the last year or so, I've been focusing more on making content and just trying to connect with other brands to spread the word about their products. So
I love that.
Different avenue, but still keeps me really busy.
Okay. Congratulations, honey. I love that. Love that. Uh-oh. I think we lost Black. Yeah. I appreciate y'all being on here as women because I'm usually the only one in the house. You know, and trying to help.
Tell us about you. What is it that you do?
Well, I'm your favorite no bullshit therapist. I do mental health therapy for marginalized and disenfranchised folks. I call myself, I'm prejudiced, but I don't discriminate. Because my focus is my people. I work specifically with Black folks, people of color, LGBTQIA community, foster and adoptive community, formerly incarcerated communities and their families. And recently I have an intern who speaks Spanish, so I'm entering into a Spanish speaking community and immigrant community and all that. Just providing access and removing barriers so that people can get in and get to know themselves and love themselves and work on all that junk that's keeping them from moving forward and all that. And I do it in a non-traditional way. And because I don't believe in the way they teach us how to do it in school because it don't work for our communities and all that. So
awesome.
You know,
awesome. And where are you located?
I am in Texas. I'm in Leander, Texas, just above Austin, but I'm licensed in Louisiana and Texas because I'm from New Orleans. So I got to take care of my people at home too. So everything I do is virtual.
Carmen, where are you located? I'm gonna have to get with you about those brows.
Louisiana, I'm in Shreveport. So
I used to live in Shreveport when I was younger, girl. Right? Come on, Louisiana. That's all right. Yeah.
Well, I just relocated back to Louisiana. I'm in Bastrop.
You in Bastrop? Okay. Where are all my Louisiana people?
Well, I really enjoyed the show and the time and meeting you ladies. I hope that you guys, we can connect and we can talk more because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. As I was taking that tonight and I come on, I was like, well, they got some ladies on here I can talk to. So
it was a pleasure meeting each of you. Let's reconnect. I'm going to say good night and thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Bye.
So, so Carmen, anything else that you was thinking that you didn't get a chance to say? Because Black talk a lot.
The only thing that I didn't get a chance to say is that I really feel that just relationships as a whole have changed. Like we said, it's a new time. It's different reasons why people are getting together. So the way that we get together needs to be adjusted as well. In the good old days, all the man had to do was have a job and then he had a wife. Now they need to have a personality. Around and so many things. And I think the men are just in shock. This is like their second generation that you have to have more than just a job.
Yes.
Be with someone. So I think all the conversations that we have online, they're not just random, but it's just because we're trying to adjust. We're all trying to adjust to one another. And it's a little bit harder now that you have more things, more requirements to someone's spouse, husband, or whatnot.
I feel that. That's definitely a factor. Like you said, with the fact of not courting and you're right. All they just had to be working before. That's it. You know, you got a job. All right, you in. You know, but now is okay. Have a job, but like, do you even like me? Do you care about the things I care about? Can you be emotionally supportive? You gonna take care of these kids like they need to? No. Not just pay for their stuff. Are you going to care for these kids and be in their lives, right? And all that. Because again, back in the day, like love from a man equal, I take care of you, right? I got you in this house. I feed you, you know, I clothe you. That's one form of love, right? That's one way of providing, but it's not all, right? And stuff. Same thing for women not being able, you know, okay, I can cook and I can clean, I can take care of the household, but what did that man need as far as support and, you know, me having his back and stuff like that? Those are also needs that we have in a relationship, you know. And like you said, we got to step it up.
Almost all girls were going to be talking to guys or multiple guys at one time.
If you haven't seen his video, go back and watch it. He's basically talking about how a lot of pretty girls are lonely because a lot of people think that a lot of pretty girls are talking to multiple people when in reality we aren't talking to people. And because other people think that we have so many people, we end up having nobody because everybody thinks that we have someone. And here's the thing. As a pretty girl, I'm grateful and I love pretty privilege. Oftentimes, well, let me just talk for me specifically. A lot of guys tell me, oh, I'm sure you have a lot of guys. Oh, I'm sure you're talking to so many people. And it's like, between going to work, going to the gym, time for myself, possibly being in school, whatever the case may be, I talk to people intentionally. I date intentionally. And I think because a lot of people think that I have a roster or I'm talking to so many people, they don't put any thought or consideration or even try to talk to me because they think that I'm talking to so many people. And it's almost like the saying, like, nice girls finish last or nice guys finish last. Because, like, they think that your looks, your prettiness equates to something. And oftentimes people are like, looks aren't everything. And for this specific video in this context, this applies because looks aren't everything. And granted, there's people that are pretty and have zero personality, and there's people that, you know, may not be the best of looking or appealing to you and have a great personality. But if you don't even try, you don't put forth any effort, you don't even try to like make a move, how would you even know? And then there's people that are like, oh, well, you could be, you know, I thought you were taken, or why are you single? And it's like, I'm single because nobody is making a move on me because everybody thinks that I have someone. And it's not a bad thing at all, but I get that guys or girls can be shy trying to shoot your shot or whatever. But how would you know if you don't try? How would you know? And I feel like for me personally, it's unfortunate that I meet people or I have met people that just expect me to be pretty and have no personality. And then when they get to know me, they're like, oh, like, you're actually smart. It's like pretty insulting because it's like you just expected me to have looks and like nothing else. Now, granted, depending on the situation, I do use that to my advantage of not having anything else besides looks to benefit me, you know, in certain situations. But majority of the time, I genuinely prefer or like when people notice that I am beauty and brains and not just beauty. So
yeah, I feel that too. I feel
and it's a struggle when they're beautiful, because you assume so much, because, you know, in the movies, if they were beautiful, we call them blondes. They didn't know nothing. So you was pretty, you know, like pretty privilege.
Right.
So
Which
then this is what he
True beauty, men do not understand. Beautiful women are lonely. All over the world, they're very lonely because men are too intimidated to go talk to them because she'll never want me, or they're drunk and spitting on them. Hey, baby. And so they never have a real authentic, beautiful women are never included in the lives of men, and they're never really included in the lives of women. They're cast apart, they're set aside, they're very lonely. By beauty, beautiful women, I mean women that want a better experience. They want to be seen for their qualities, and not just because of the way they look. There's beautiful women of all ages, and all sizes.
And so the question I also wanted to ask, I noticed a lot of beautiful women, and women, period. It's hard to trust people, hard to trust your so-called friends because they may be jealous because you get more attention. How do you guys handle that amongst your so-called friends? Have you ever been out and like the guy they're looking at is looking at you? How do y'all deal with that in today's society?
That would be
because I'm sure both of you experienced that.
My mind from back in the day, you know. And I used to hang out with one girl who was beautiful, but she was snobbish, and so men would walk up to her. We'd be in a club and stuff, and men would walk up to her, and immediately she was like, or whatever. I danced with anybody because I came to dance, right? I ain't came to have a good time. I ain't necessarily came to walk out the door with anybody. And if I meet somebody here, cool. And if I don't, that's cool. But I came to have a good time. And so my mentality was a little bit different on that, right? And that was the stage of life that I was in as well and stuff. But I don't think I've dealt with that, of course, but like I never played into it. I just never played into it because if you're around me, I did go through a long stage of my life where I dimmed my shine, though, right? And so the older I've gotten, the more healing I've gotten and all that, the better I've done at taking care of me, then I don't worry. If you're around me, either you're gonna put on some sunglasses because I'm shining, or you're gonna go back to the darkness, or you're gonna glean from me because that's what I want. I want you to be able to glean from me, right? And all that. I got rid of the narrative a long time ago that women should be fighting each other for bullshit, right? For the spotlight, for, you know.
Well, they doing that a lot now.
You know, and all that kind of stuff. Again, you got to choose your circle and all that. So I don't hang around people that, you know, that are intimidated by me. I don't hang around people who, you know, are haters. I don't hang around people.
So when you notice that you kind of fade away from it.
I space myself from that or whatever and all that. And, you know, I'm naturally a helpful person or whatever. So like, we're going to talk about those things, right? And I talked before about how my best friend, when I first met her, she didn't even know she was cute. And when I say she was cute, she was like, I said, you don't know you're cute? No, right? That didn't mean I needed to get rid of her, right? That meant she needed some uplift, that she didn't have a friend. And she was a victim too of women in her life who would never, you know, give her props or whatever, you know, never say, girl, you look good and all that kind of stuff, right? So that was the first person in her life, especially first Black person in her life that was like, no, girl, you're cute, pretty damn hot. You know what I'm saying? And so it took her some time to start believing that. Like, you can't tell her nothing then. You know, she know how cute she is now. But it took for her to be around somebody, you know, who loved her enough to like pour into her, right? And she does the same for me when I'm feeling fat, right? Or I'm not feeling like I'm doing the best at life or whatever. We consistently pour into each other. So you just got to choose your circle and choose to be around people who are willing to pour into you and you pour into them, because relationships are reciprocal, you know? So
that would be the thing that I would say. I do want to say something before I forget. When she said that the lady didn't really realize she was cute, and then we saw the guy, or you were just talking about someone who was snobbish. So recently I saw a video, and if I had known you were playing videos like this, I would have sent it to you, but I'll try to remember to send it for next time. But this lady broke down the different types of pretty women. So she put them in different categories, and she said that there's one that has always known she was beautiful, use it to her advantage, may have attitude. Right. There was another one like your friend who never realized how attractive she was, may have gotten, the negative things from it, but had not really been acknowledged as beautiful. And then there was another one who realized later in life. So I don't want to quote her incorrectly, but it really resonated with me because now I think I'm cute. But for a long time, I didn't think I was unattractive, but it wasn't like
I'm all of that.
Right.
Treating, I guess. And so to answer the question though, I agree with Chanel. I agree with Chanel to say that you have to be selective with the people around you. Because once you realize someone is not really for you, or they may have some jealousy or whatever, you have got to distance yourself from the person. It's a really toxic, it can be really bad. So I have lost several friends for that reason when I didn't feel that way about them. The way they felt that I was acting was not was not what I was trying to do or outshine them or whatever. It was more of just insecurities within them. And now that phrase that I say is that's on them.
It is. It's not a me problem.
Bring myself down. I need to tone down a little bit. I need to whatever. But me toning myself down does not shrink their insecurity.
It doesn't.
So it's important that I'm able to be my full authentic self. No,
and I used to, men, we go through that too. Different guys would try to hang, and I'll think I got me a new friend or something, and then they stop coming around all of a sudden. But I didn't think men went through that. I knew women did because all I had was sisters, and but so I knew you guys go through it. Them girls would be acting like that y'all best friends, and then as soon as you leave, that girl, this and that was going on. I went out her room was this and that. They ain't have nothing in the refrigerator. So I seen, firsthand, but I didn't know men were like that until I started reaching out and saying, I'm gonna step outside of my comfort zone instead of being in my little DJ Black bubble. Let me see what this person hanging out. Hey, Black, we gonna come by there, we gonna hang. And so I'm riding with them and we hanging. And then they get jealous. I mean,
comparison is our worst enemy.
Comparison. And I didn't, and it hurts because I'm sure the ones who bagged out on Carmen and the ones that bagged out on you, Chanel, I'm sure you really thought, because you even if I even let someone in my cycle, if I feel confident enough to let you in my circle, I've studied you. And was comfortable with you coming in. Then when you get in and you try to corrupt the circle, you try to make an oval out of it. I'm messed up behind it because I trusted, and I don't trust easy. I don't trust nothing and nobody easy. So the fact I let them in, and I know women, you guys, especially the nicer looking ones, it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. Because it's just like this lady was explaining.
Notice about girls who are really pretty. So if you relate to these, you're probably just like really pretty. People hate them for no reason. Like they're just like, oh, she just thinks she's all that. She just acts like blah. No real reason. No real reason for hating them. They get excluded a lot, especially by people who are jealous of them. I've literally heard girls say things like, I don't want her to come, like she's too pretty. They don't get complimented that much or hit on as much as everyone thinks. Because everyone thinks, oh my god, she's probably getting compliments all the time. She doesn't need my compliment. Everyone's probably hitting on her. So like, what's the point? And if everyone's thinking that, no one hits on them. No one compliments.
You know what's interesting that people don't normally talk about is that the pretty girls are often the absolutely loneliest, most torn apart, bullied girls. When I was in high school, I was categorized as like the pretty girl. I was in the rural Midwest and I wore makeup, so like it doesn't say much about me. It's just like what people talked about me as. Like people would just put me under that label. I won homecoming one year. I was on every prom corps, did all the sports, knew everyone, but I had no friends, no one that I could trust. And the girls at my school were so mean to me, and I was nice to everyone, and anybody who knows me well will tell you that. The only girl that ever really like deeply understood that was another girl who's drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, looked like a walking Barbie doll. But she would remind me at least once a year, be like, hey, like the stuff these people are saying about you, like it has nothing to do with you. The pretty girls are always the loneliest. That's just how it is. And you have to understand it's nothing personal. Because looks don't mean anything.
And that was similar to your story, Chanel, where you had the friend that was be gorgeous and didn't know, and it just took you to talk to her to let her know that, you know, she was
like
gorgeous.
we all good here, right? You know, like I got your back, you got mine kind of thing. Like and women have to start learning how to stick together in that regard and stop being, each of us are individual. Right. And we all have our own beauty, and every bit of beauty does not equal, you know, like the traditional standard of beauty. Right. Because if we went by that, then everybody will be light, not even light skin. Everybody will be white with long hair, long straight hair, because that's the picture of beauty that the media sold us for many, many years. Right. And all that was better. And the closest you can get to that, then the prettier you are. Right. And all that. And we have to get rid of those standardized, what society or the media has said, what looks good, right? We have to choose for ourselves what looks good. Yeah. And I think I talked to my daughter not too long ago about how, you know, I didn't get play a lot because of my size. Like I always believed and knew I was pretty, but I also thought I was fat, right? And so, and guys would like me, but they couldn't say that out loud. You like the big girl, you know, and stuff like that. But men been liking big girls since the beginning of the time and all that. But they couldn't say that out loud because I have to maintain this certain status quo, or, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, like what you like, enjoy it, right? You know, just be an individual. Just be an individual. That's the important part, you know. So now 10:15, we need to start rolling. I can't hear you. You're mute on.
Peep this one. Yeah, it comes on sometimes when videos hit. Check this out. Check her out.
Fellas, I don't know if you are intentionally or subconsciously being confused by what we mean when we say we would rather stay single, but it's not because we don't want a relationship. It's not because we don't want companionship, partnership. The problem is, why would we get into a relationship specifically with a man when it does not improve the conditions of our lives, or at the very least maintain the status of life that I currently provide to myself? Why? So if I'm financially stable, emotionally stable, if I go to therapy, if I have taken the time to build a genuine connection with people around me, a community, why I want a relationship with a man who has not even taken steps to improve his own life, but want to be in a relationship with me? Why?
That's that independence right there. That's that independence.
Not that I don't want to be in a relationship, but it got to be the right one. Come correct.
You got to be that person, as you say.
Single by choice. I will tell anybody, do not come in here and disrupt my peace. If you're not going to protect my peace and preserve my peace, I'm not interested. I am open to the idea, but it just has to be right.
Sociologist Chris Marsh is the author of the new book, The Love Jones Cohort, Single and Living Alone in the Black Middle Class.
It's funny you say that because I never forget, I think it was my senior year of high school, and my father encouraged me to stay loyal to my career because it'll be more loyal to you than any man. But my mom was on the other side and said, but a career can't keep you warm at night.
Like, yes, a career cannot keep you warm at night, but you got a whole bunch of like heated blankets and stuff that you...
That woman there.
Heated blankets, baby. We also got weighted blankets, okay? I got a 33-pounder up in here. Keep it nice and warm.
But yeah, so like I say, tonight I learned that a lot of, like I say, Carmen has standards. She knows what she's looking for, but at the same time, all of you are independent, successful, Black, entrepreneur women. So it's relationships. You good if you have one, you good if you don't. It's not gonna make or break you guys, because you guys eyes on the prize and you are doing your thing. Yep. So I mean, well, Bria said sometimes standards are too high. I fell in that category.
But you have to figure that out. You have to figure out.
I had to figure it out. Because my standards,
you're trying to figure out when you start falling into a space where you look at, like you say, like when you look at yourself and you go, wait a minute, am I expecting more than I'm willing to give? Am I expecting more from a person? You know, like, so you have to have standards, and sometimes people do have a master list that's impossible, right? You're looking for perfection. Ain't no such thing. That's why you say you have to figure out what are you willing to compromise. Everybody.
When I learned it wasn't no such thing as perfection, I can say I was a totally different person. I didn't know whether I was crazy. I mean, you go through that. You don't know if you're crazy. You don't know if you're broken. You don't know. You don't know. You're lost at that time. I was lost because I was like, I'm not finding every woman that I met from college to out, when I got out in the real world and the workforce, it was a flaw to me. Right. Something I didn't like. Like if they smoke a cigarette, that's a turn off. If she hung around women who were labeled as 304s, I can't be with you. If
those aren't good standards, though. Those aren't.
If they were Pentecostal, I had so many. Religion is a big deal. I was messed up, yeah, because if they were Jehovah's Witness, because their parents would try to make me go to the churches. Right. But once you, if like Carmen them said, if it's something that you want, you have to get in that lane, right, to receive that. You can't, I can't alter myself to make me, change my standards to fit in with something that's not, that I'm miserable in. Like you said, like Chanel said, if I'm adjusting to fit a norm and I'm uncomfortable, that's my fault.
It's not the jam. It's not
and so once I learned that no one's perfect, not even me, even though my folks had me sheltered in this box where perfect was good grades, not going to jail, and not breaking curfew, And then when you get in the real world and you find out, well, hey, everybody's human. You're gonna miss curfew. You're gonna make low on an essay. Right. It's not a perfect world out here. You know what I'm saying? Then when I first tried to wash my clothes, I messed them up because mom used to wash them all. We wasn't allowed to touch the washer, the dryer, and all the microwave. So when I went to college, I was big and I wanted to wash on my own. I knew she used bleach, but I didn't know bleach was just for towels and sheets and hot water. So I put all my clothes in the washer because I didn't want to go home that weekend because it was a big party on campus. I'm not going home this weekend. So I'm going to wash my own clothes. Put that bleach in there and messed them all up. Guess what? They had to send me $500 to go to the mall and get some new clothes. So, and I got cursed out and everything. But learning that no one's perfect. And it hurt me when I found out I wasn't. And I also talk about the frog that get in your throat. I had that when I was failing and needing help when and different things. I didn't, that was a turning point. So, and like Bria saying, and Lunny been going off with us tonight. But yeah, I had to adjust certain standards. And my mom used to be like, either you're gonna adjust your standards or you're gonna be lonely. So then that's when I learned to do what Chanel called deal breakers. I didn't know what a deal breaker was back then. I just knew what I was going to tolerate and what I wasn't, what I could accept, and what I couldn't. Because at first I didn't want a woman at all that had a child. That was the worst thing ever, because I used to hear moms talk about the scrutiny that she went through for having a child at 16.
See?
And so a young boy hearing a mother talk about how all the hell she went through and how people looked at her made me say, well, I don't want a woman with no child.
Right.
You know. And
so you did the same thing that I did about not wanting to be with a man be with a man who had kids. Because I'm like, oh, look at all this baby mama drama. I ain't about that. I need to find one without one. You know, and I finally did, but he still wasn't the right one.
Now you try, like I said, I don't know what's Carmen's status, but a woman over 25 with no kids is a rare commodity now. You can hardly find that.
Mm-hmm.
So the man who coming in there trying to be, I don't want a woman with kids, he not gonna find a woman. Right. You know, and like you said, if you do date a man with kids, that man them kids have to be high school, getting ready to go to college. Because you're not gonna do no 5-year-olds, no 8-year-olds, no toddlers, none of that, because you ready to live. Right. So it's okay to have your standards. And like my mom said one time on this podcast, she popped in, it's okay to have standards. So Carmen, by no means should you throw away your standards.
Right.
And I know when you say you have standards, you were kind of like me. It's standards, but on the same notes, you have what's called deal breakers. It was just certain things that I wouldn't tolerate.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think Carmen has. She she knows what she wants and don't plan to settle. And like she say, what's like Bria said, it's what's best for you, even though it may be harder to find. But it's okay, especially if you live in your life and doing what you want to do and staying in path and keeping the course of where you're trying to go and what you're doing. And with all you got going on, you and Wanda and Chanel, with all that you guys have going on, you probably don't have time for no steady man. Because he's going to be like, oh, you're going here, there, oh, you're going there, and there. Why you spending money?
My thing works. My distance, boo, like it works because I'm doing stuff.
Right, you busy. Now, had she been at home, just sitting, waiting by the phone, that long distance relationship would be a problem.
It would, yeah. It would be.
It'll be a problem. Yeah. But you guys are busy. You guys are entrepreneurs, and you're doing things. And I just want all of you, especially Carmen, to stay on your path.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can easily get distracted. But it seems like you've been in that distracted stage and you're on track, you're on path. Stay on path, because that's what I had to do. And when you stay on path, you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. But the key thing about it that I learned, if you're not responsible for a crumb going in my mouth, a penny going in my pocket, why should I care? And that attitude alone would get you wherever you're trying to go without any remorse, because those who's supposed to be there with you will still be there for you. So
let me say, woman to woman, Carmen, and I know you're proud of yourself, but like, I am super duper proud of you for like getting these lessons early in the game, because it took me a minute. It took me a minute to get these things.
Also, I'm actually 37 now, so I have
dated, still good. Yeah.
And been in all sorts of situations. Like I said, I had to take time to really reconnect with myself. So I'm just glad, even though it was hard, I'm just glad that I did take the time to do that, because there's so many people that I know that are much older and not in the work. Just all over the place. So absolutely. I'm glad that I got a chance to come on and chat with you guys. My phone is actually about to die.
We're about to get out of here. We tried to get out at 11, but we extended it. And Lunny, for the word, yes, I cook. I'm a gourmet chef now. But I learned, I got out there and I did it all. When I got away from the house, I got away from the house. But it's been a pleasure, Carmen, coming on and voicing your opinion. And like I say, I take something out of all the podcasts, especially the special guests. And then Chanel is actually a therapist. So she says things in a therapeutic way, and it gets with you subliminally, whether you're trying to catch it or not. And so I'll go to bed tonight and I'll wake up in the morning thinking about what she said, and it resonates with me. So add her to your list, and she's a very good person to talk to, and she'll make you see things that you not even looking for. So it's that she's made me a better person. I'm a better husband and everything from being on this podcast, meeting her, because I was hated. Mine to come on here and tell you. Chanel and them know I was hated. But I just sit back and I have an open mind. So I'm not just zoned in on what I think anymore. It used to be my way or no way. But my mind is open now. And like you said, I started accepting people for who they are, what they do. And just because I don't agree with it, that don't make it right or wrong. It's just what I don't do.
Yeah.
So, and what I don't agree with. So that's my take on it. And like I say, I feel sorry for a lot of the beautiful women, because I know a lot of them and I hang around them. Being a DJ, being a promoter, they pick the better looking women, the models, to be around. And I listen to the hell that them women go through, and you would be amazed of what they go through. And just because society deemed them beautiful, and like many of you said, a lot of them don't even think they're beautiful. They don't think they fell in that you favor Rihanna, you favor Beyonce, you favor, they don't know that, and many of them, like I say, Chanel said when she first joined, what was she?
I love you, but you keep talking. We got to wrap it up.
That journalist killed herself. The journalist killed herself because she had turned 30, and 25-year-old was in her DM telling her she wasn't pretty and this and that, and she jumped out of a window in New York and killed herself. And that's when Chanel was coming on with her therapy. And but yeah, that's it's being beautiful or pretty is a gift and a curse. And so you guys wear it well, because it doesn't matter, because you're making a statement in life, so it doesn't matter. So close it out, Chanel, on the pretty women being.
Y'all heard everything we had to say.
That was it.
And that's a wrap on that. Like, love yourself. Figure out what
self-love,
and figure out what works for you. So you have to get to know yourself in order to get that done. And
on that note, shout out to Show for showing up. Shout out to Wonder. Y'all already know. Shout out to Carmen and Chanel. Lonnie blew us up tonight. Bria, thanks for coming in. Lotus, she spoke on it. And until next week is my hip hop segment. What's that?
Jerica.
Oh yeah, Jerica. She jumped on and with a long speech.
Yeah.
And Jerica, she keeps it real. I have to give her a part.
The writer, Dripping Almighty, Smoke Show.
Oh, you seeing everybody? I don't even see that. You gonna have to show me how to see that.
Yeah. Queen of Love. I appreciate all of y'all. There was a lot of people in the house tonight. Appreciate it.
But you caught me. So but yeah, next week is my hip hop segment. I'm probably gonna get into the battle rap thing. LL Cool J was going against Kumo D. So we're gonna dip into the hip hop, and then the last every third Wednesday is the hip hop. Where we talk about hip hop. Every fourth Wednesday
is your mental health
the therapy session with Chanel.
This month.
Your no bullshit therapist, and she'll be talking about anxiety the last Wednesday. Right. So that's how we do it here. It's open discussion on the first and second Wednesdays. Third Wednesdays hip hop. Fourth Wednesday is our therapy session with our no bullshit therapist Chanel. So just keep posted, because we're gonna keep coming with more and more content, and we look forward to having Carmen and maybe Wanda back, and more people coming in and joining. It was a pleasure speaking with everybody and doing the podcast. And like we always do, it's time to dock this ship, and we about to get out of here. We went 30 minutes over what we normally do, but other than that, it was great. And stay on y'all path to next week, same time, same station. We out. Peace.
Peace.
What you think, man?
I've been in the polyamory lifestyle. I can't even say lifestyle because it's not a lifestyle. It's a way of loving, not a way of living. I've been polyamorous for about 10 years now. Okay. And the mindset for me is mentally, I think I've been polyamorous longer than actually practicing it, because I've always felt that this like monogamy just doesn't fit for me. Right. I don't understand why I have to only love one person, or why I can only show affection for one person. Where is this written? Why do I have to go along with what the societal standard supposedly is?
Right.
And then
the problem comes when you love somebody too much. When you let yourself love somebody too much,
and they don't love you the same.
It's not even matter whether they love you back or not. They can love you back, but it's still unhealthy to love somebody that much. Which I understand that ideology of that. Well, I can't have. I might as well. I've been there. I know that. But at the same time, you have to realize, what your culpability is in a relationship going, however it went. You start thinking about, well, damn, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So, you can love somebody too much. And then, see, that complicates things for us men, because we already have a hard time forming those emotional attachments. You already told, don't do that.
The missing link to that goes back to a time before we even thought, why doesn't my father like me? Is that a protection for me?
Right.
Or is that the way he was raised? Or maybe somebody hugged him one day, a man hugged him. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying we got
No, but there are things that could have happened that absolutely that caused him to be the way he is.
Made him feel weird, needed.
Right.
So the things that we think are sometimes a rejection or a lack may have been a protection.
And most of the time they are, like absolutely. But if we don't understand that, all we know is the rejection.
You see, like what I understand with my father,
men were going to jail, killing each other, and then now we got bisexual, then we got gays, now we got transgender. So with all of that going on, the purpose of that was removing the black man, the black male from the household. Okay? So with him not being in the household, she's getting the welfare, or she's out there in the workforce, forced to take care of herself, and if she have children, to take care of the children alone. Whether he's in jail, whether he's dead, whether he's bisexual, whether he's gay, whatever. The black male was removed from the home, and black woman was forced to provide for the children, for herself.
You're missing one other thing that removes black male from the home. That's white women. Because after a while, it was a run on black men, white women. Yeah, white women. At one point, black men, they just had to have a white woman, no matter what their social economical status was. White women was the way to go. And so that pulled a lot of black men out of the house.
Damn, I sure missed that. I mean, I know Rick James, I know, you hit it. I just didn't think of that as a major absence of the black man. So
being a provider means so many things.
Right.
It means put you in a house. It means I got your back. It means we're doing this together. It means I'm not gonna walk away when things get hard. That's providing, right? I'm gonna provide emotional emotional protection so that you can, you know, I'll be present for you when you don't feel like you can be there for yourself or whatever, you know. So there's so much more definition to the thing, right? And even on the flip side, looking at, you know, men with kids, right? I remember I did not want a man who had kids. And I was about 25 when I met my ex-husband.